The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
World premiere.
Welcome to the Horrible Gamers podcast, episode number 330 on November 9th, 2020. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Mayo. Thank you for joining tonight.
Hey, Gunny. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, bud. How about you?
I'm doing really well.
Good.
The weather here has been great the last couple of days.
You've got highs. I've got lows.
Yeah, see? Got to come to Ohio, Gunny.
I've been wearing pants, by the way. I have been wearing pants with long socks.
And it's been like almost 80 degrees here. I've been wearing shorts.
You guys are over there with your drinks with umbrellas in it. Wow. Okay. Hey, guys. Go over to Twitter, @_horriblegamers. Go give us a follow there on Twitter. And over on iTunes, go leave us a review. Go to that iTunes, leave us a review, give us 5 stars plus. That'll help us out greatly. We really appreciate it.
We need 6 stars, Gunny.
6 stars. 6 stars on iTunes. That'll work for us. Thank you, guys. Facebook. We do have a Facebook community group, and you can find that at facebook.com/groups/horriblegamers. So go over there, answer those we only have a couple questions. All you got to do is answer them, and you are in the group. So go join that. And Patreon. We have a list for those patrons. Let me just bring that up. Thank you, Patreons. We've got Michael Zick, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Pacharek. I say that right, Pacharek. Chad. I don't see a last name, but just Chad. Brandon Willier, Vetterholic, Jake Vossen, Native Lives Matter, Henley M, Jesse Kraft, Pork Chop Poo, Steve Willier, another Willier, it's like a family thing here. Mm-hmm. Robbie Wheat, Adam Sunday, John Jerome, Evan Tanaka, E.T., Jonathan Big D Hall. I didn't get to listen to the GFNG show this weekend. Thank you, Jonathan D Hall, and Bill Gardner II. Thank you, Patreons. We really appreciate it. Love you guys.
Really?
All right, where are we at now? Stitcher, go on over to get your app for Stitcher. We have is it all Horrible Gamers in caps? Jesus has said it a million times, but if you go over there.
Horrible Gamers, all caps, no spaces.
Get your free 30-day trial. I like Stitcher. I use it. I bounce back between that one and the other podcast app that I use all the time, which I never remember the name of it, but it is, just go with the Stitcher. Stitcher's good.
That sounds like a good one.
I like the layout of it and the premium shows that they have. Always Good. Stitcher.com, folks. And our intro song, is that still done by Fowler and TwistX? Do we still have that? Or are we using, who are we using for?
We've been using some...
for Ricky Alfaris.
Ricky Alfaris, yep.
Some mech mod, possibly. However it is and however it goes, we thank you for your music. And the outro, Broke for Free, Night Owl, or by Ricky. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the music. All right, so... let's get on to this show. We've got a console. The console's launching tomorrow.
Some Redbubble gear you have to buy it, Gunny.
Oh my gosh, did I totally forget the Redbubble? Holy cow.
I mean,
man, Jesus, where are you? You need to host this show. Damn it.
I could be at home right now going, man, I want to buy a shower curtain. And I'd be lost. I'd be like buying like a Target shower curtain or something like that because I didn't hear a Redbubble plug.
Oh, man. Oh, I fucked up. All right, let's go. Let's go to redbubble.com. Go over to Horrible Gamers and put that in, and you will find our products over there. Go buy yourself a hoodie for the holidays. Buy a hoodie for your friend, your mom,
I think if you go to that website, Gunny, if you look at the modeling the t-shirts and stuff, I think that looks like Jesus.
It does, huh? Doesn't it? That guy, he does look like him.
Pretty close.
I think he's like, can you put my picture in there? Thank you, guys.
Yeah. I think he uploaded his picture of him in there, and he's modeling all the hoodies and the t-shirts for you guys. So if you want to see a picture of Jesus modeling all that clothes, check it out.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. What do we got over here? Oh, there it is. There's that face mask, right? Yeah. We do have the HGP face mask in there, and it's only $10. But if you buy 4 of them, you can get it for $8. I'm going to have to get one of those. I always wanted to get one. Man, I don't know about you, but, I want to get one of those scary masks or something crazy looking. But I'm thinking at work, there might be some places I can go into, and they may not be acceptable, but...
Maybe someday this can be a collector's item. Once COVID's out of the way and we're done with all this COVID, they'll be like, what's that mask from? Back in 2020, we had this epidemic, and we have this Horrible Gamers mask that everybody can buy and wear.
$500 for the Horrible Gamers mask on eBay. That's how much they'll be after this.
You could buy yourself the next console. Back then, in the future, it'd be the PlayStation 7.
No, that thing will be like $900. We'll see. Well, yeah, it was never going to be more expensive. All right, yeah. I think I covered everything. We're ready. Mayo, let's talk really quickly. I know we got a console. Xbox's launch tomorrow. We were just talking about it off the air. And I just had it up here where it's New Zealand starts here in 30, 45 minutes or so?
Yeah, I had it up on my phone just a little bit ago. It's probably about 45 minutes away. They're going to do a launch party, and they're calling it Greentown over there in one of those towns in New Zealand, but they're trying to rename it Greentown. So
awesome, man.
It's going to be a neat event, and there's 45,000 people watching right now. So with anticipation.
Wonderful.
Seeing this thing.
That's, so I got a question, because everybody's talking about how all these retailers and everything, and they're going to have, you're not going to be able to stand in a line. We're not having no COVID, no Corona parties over here at Target or Walmart. But so then when do we go to Walmart.com or Target.com? That's what I was trying to figure out. Do I have to wait because I'm in America? I got to wait till tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. or some shit?
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works. I'm not sure. So I've never actually tried pre-ordering online. I know Bill Gardner II, he has one ordered, so he have it pretty much waiting for him in the mail tomorrow, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think so, because we've been seeing a lot of confirmations. I've been seeing them on Facebook and on Twitter. And I know my buddies over at This Xbox Life, they have a thread going of people just showing their confirmation, not personal, private information, but that it's been shipped and it should arrive tomorrow or whenever it does get arrived. So I haven't been following that too closely because I've been out of town the last couple of days, but yeah, I'll be on that thing tomorrow morning, and hopefully I won't screw up like I did at pre-orders where it was 8 o'clock and I'm underneath this building and my phone wasn't working, and I'll be sure to be on my phone in 4G or at least LTE at 8 a.m. or earlier if I need to see if I can pre-order this thing.
Get on the limit, Gunny. You need a 5G to be able to get that pre-order in there.
Fucking 5G. T-Mobile doesn't work for shit in my area for some reason. I don't know why. I was like, let me just see how this 4G's doing. But it only works if you're downtown of a major city. Where I live in...
Gunny, not only am I stealing your weather, but I also steal your technology here in Ohio.
I've
been over here with 5G on my Note 20 Ultra.
What are you, a Verizon carrier guy or what? 5G.
What's that?
Are you a Verizon guy or what? What are you?
Yeah, I'm a Verizon guy.
Damn it, Verizon's kicking some butt. I don't know. The wife likes this T-Mobile thing. They've got good customer service, but yeah, AT&T kind of rules over here, and I think Verizon does this as well.
It's just very expensive over here in comparison to the other ones. Yeah.
I don't know what we're paying. The wife pays the bill. I just make all the money. She spends it. Yeah, but let's see. Man, what have you been playing? I'm going to go with you first. What have you been playing as far as games this week?
It's been a busy week for me, Gunny. I have to work like 7 days this week, so I'm working like 70-hour weeks right now. Back into this, getting ready for the holidays kind of stuff. Thanksgiving, being in a grocery store warehouse, shipping food. These grocery stores.
Speaking of that, the host of this show that's what he's doing right now. So
yeah.
Keep on working, Jesus.
Hey, between Jesus working and my working and Gunny's working, we could not get lined up this week. Jesus is working nights. Gunny and I are working during the days. We're all working 7 days a week. Trying to get that food out there to you guys, and Gunny's trying to deliver all that alcohol to you guys.
All the liquor and the wine and everything that's going out to. Yeah, it's so mine hasn't really technically started yet. I think, well, only because I'll just mention that it's different in all areas, but as people may know or experience in their part of the country or part of the world, where my section of the business is where it's like, hey, I service a lot of bars and restaurants. And so a lot of them are either closed or people don't really drink liquor outside as much. Maybe they'll probably, I don't expect it to be extremely busy for that section of my business. But grocery stores, yes, I do some, and convenience stores. Those will be a major part of deliveries.
Yeah, busy. I have been playing some Watchdogs, Watchdogs Legions, and still having a good time with that. It's that big open world environment, kind of like it. To me, it still makes me feel like Grand Theft Auto. As soon as I jack one of those cars and I start driving around the city, running people over, taking shortcuts, getting myself in trouble, I just feel like GTA 5 or whatever, like this game is just like a British GTA 5. I do enjoy, like, once you get out of the car, you get that little prompt on pretty much anything it seems like in the environment of the game that you can interact with. You can hack it or have it attack or do whatever, and even the people and stuff, how you can kind of home in on them and see what their strengths are, and you can recruit them and stuff like that. So I'm still pretty early into the game, getting some of the drones and stuff like that, where you can fly the drone around, and a couple missions there where you did that, where you gotta like fly the drone. And I thought it was kind of weird. Like the first time they gave me the drone, there's a mission where you have to like hack a drone, and you're flying like the enemy drone around. It's like a security drone. But if another drone sees your drone, it starts attacking it in a way. It like hits it with this red beam and stuff. I'm like, how does it know it's an enemy, controlled drone now? Because it was originally a security one, like that one. So I thought that was kind of odd, but obviously they have to do that to make the game challenging. You can't
right. Obvious, yeah.
Make it too easy, but in that mission, you had like take a picture of a screen, and it gave you like the schematics of something like, as like a generator or something like that. And you had to go to the generator so you could log into it and stuff. Is what I done, and it was pretty early. Like I said, it was off the top of my head. I did notice, Gunny, when I'm assuming the PC and the Xbox and the PlayStation version are all the same. In my options, I had to change the field of view back a little bit. I felt like the game was kind of too far zoomed in. With driving and stuff like that, I felt like the camera was almost too close to the car. So I went to the PC settings, and it was set at like 80%, and I zoomed it basically out to 110, the field of view, and so that backed the camera up a lot, and it gives you a lot more on screen to see. And I felt like that was way more comfortable. I don't know if you have that or if you played Legions at all.
No, I watched Josh. Is it Josh from Mom's Basement? I watched him play a little bit today.
Shiloh,
and yeah, shout out to Shiloh, Mom's Gaming Basement. I watched him. I had one eye on there and was playing and gaming myself, just trying to cram it all in today. But yeah, I just saw him driving, so that was really all that I saw. But I can tell you that a lot of times games now on, current consoles, and I'm sure with the next, they do have those FOV options, or I've seen it with Borderlands in recent. So hopefully, I'm sure Ubisoft will have something for consoles as well, as far as a field of view or some sort of slider. I know it bothers some people where I don't think I've really ever changed it. But now that you mention it, I'm probably going to go in there and back it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably going to bug you now. You're going to go in the game and you're going to be like, I feel like I'm too close. Have to back out. I don't know why. Like every once in a while, I get that feeling in a game. I feel like the camera's just too close to the character, and I feel like I want to be back a little further. Kind of like my racing games. I like to be further back from the car.
Yeah, me too. I have always played in that, not the furthest out view, but then like maybe one away from it, where I'm just seeing, I can still see the back tires. And
how many people actually like the view that's right behind the car, almost like a default view? I feel like every racing game I get into, the first thing I do is hit the view button 2 times to back 2 times back.
I do the same. I do wonder what percentages. I would think it's a small percentage, only because of like if you go look at Twitch streamers, it seems like it's a smaller percentage of people that play the in-game or in-car field type view, because for me, I'm like, I can't watch this, like it's almost like, speaking of Ubisoft, right? That's their default view for most of their games, like their Far Cries, or everything's like steering wheel view, dashboard, like I can't get an outside view of this thing. I can't see who's next to me.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the inside the car view sometimes, but like if I'm trying to actually race, not just for the aesthetic of things, I like, outside the car view. But sometimes I'll like, oh, this game looks so cool, and I'll like try to be in the inside the car view and look at the dash of the car and look at the detail, and at least give it some appreciation probably that it deserves, because they put a lot of work and detail into the inside of those cars and on those games, especially like Forza and your Gran Turismos and stuff. I mean, they seem to take a lot of time into that, so I definitely don't want to try to skip over that.
Yeah, I feel like I know I've seen some complaints of like Forza versus like, is it Azeta Corzo, or I can't remember the name of that game or how you say it.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
But I think that one just had like a million different options. Like literally, like you can sit in the passenger seat, you can be on top of the hood and have like a hood driving type option, or not on the the very top of the vehicle, not the like the front of the vehicle. I don't know. It just had other options for it. So maybe hopefully Forza, when they're working on this new one, they'll say, all right, you can be anywhere on this vehicle, or choose a section of where you want to be and fix that camera. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, those racing games, I don't know. Like I said, they're so hit or miss with me anymore. I feel like, the Project Cars 3 or 4?
Is it 3 that just did that just come out?
Came out.
Yeah.
And I haven't picked it up yet. Like I feel like the Horizon series is so me now. Like Horizon 4, I just found great. I loved Horizon 3. I loved it when they did the Hot Wheel track. I like that arcade feel for some reason. I kind of got away from the simulation games, like the Forza Motorsport, 7, I think it's been on the Xbox Game Pass now. I just like Forza 4 better. For some reason, I like that craziness of being able to go off-road whenever you want and just kind of do whatever you want, but also kind of modify your cars a little bit and stuff. But you also have those big jumps and those crazy races that are, off the road and, through the rivers and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think probably Forza Horizon, is it 2 or 3? Probably 3 would be. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, that's probably my also. Like I said,
I felt like you can get
the Hot Wheels mode
into a race faster in that one. Maybe because the map was smaller, it was more easy to maneuver around. But it's just like, okay, I need to get to a race, get in there, and it's press A, start race, go. That's the best part about the Horizon series.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, enough racing talk, Gunny. Unless you want to talk about some what is it, your Mud Runner game?
No. So I was Mud Runner. Hey, that's on Android and iOS. You can play that. I don't know if I said it on this show, but I did download it on the Game Pass a couple different times, and then I realized how much Mud Runner it looks like crap, and it's just not. I do not like that game at all, because I always think like
almost gotten it a couple times on the Game Pass. So should I not?
Don't do it. Don't waste your time with it. because I thought I had it on a different TV. Oh, it's going to look better. But it's very, it's got the fucking color palette. It's like brown and black, almost like black and white. And it's not very.
Gunny. It's Mud Runner.
Oh, mud should be red, okay, and blue, and it should have some green to it. But you'll see what I'm talking about if you download it. You'll be like, ew. But Snow Runner, they must have just put whatever, I forgot the name of the developer. Is it Big Ben or one of those style type developers that said, here, we're going all out on this one. And for this one, they did an excellent job at it. It's no Red Dead Redemption 2 or anything. It's not orgasmic, but it's enough to say, okay, I'm in this game. And yeah, it looks like tons better. Like you're actually slinging mud from your vehicle. You feel like you're, progressing and how a vehicle should get up a mountain or a hill. Yeah, just a lot more detail, tons more detail in SnowRunner. So that one, yeah, when that comes to Game Pass, I'm sure it will at some point. Definitely grab that. Like
SnowRunner is definitely a way better upgrade and a better option to go away. The way it has sounded to me from what I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah, but I've seen Twitch streams of people on PC, and they're probably running it on 2080 Ti's, and so it makes Mud Runner look playable. Like, oh, it actually looks good, But if I download it on a console or something, it's like yuck, not very fun.
Oh, hey, Gunny, I did play. You talk about the no color in Mud Runner. I did play a game with a lot of color in it this week, a lot, and good old Gibbs, he recommended it to me again, and I picked it up because he kept recommending it, and I knew I would enjoy it anyways. But Hades, so I've been playing Hades pretty much exclusively this week. When it wasn't Watchdogs, it was most definitely Hades, and I sat down a couple nights like I'm gonna beat this game. I was only maybe 7 runs in or something like that. I'm like, I'm gonna try to see if I can beat this in so many runs, and then continue to progress, and you keep making these runs, and you get these dark purple colored crystals or gems, and those gems will basically are permanent points you can put in your character. So you unlock this mirror at the beginning of the game. It's at your home after you die, like your main respawn area, and you go to this mirror, you can actually put points on it, and when you put those points into your character, you can have a better backstab attack. So basically, if you hit an enemy from behind, you can increase the amount of damage that you do. Another thing you can do is you can have an extra life. So when you die, you kind of respawn with so much health. So you get so many points you can put in that, and it unlocks that. And you put enough points in it again. I think it's 1,000 for the second time, and you get another respawn. So then you can die 2 times on your run before you have to technically start over. So going through the game. At this point now, I'm pretty much just gathering as much money as I can to unlock more and more abilities. I'm getting there. You also find these keys to unlock these weapons, and it takes so many. So you start off with a sword, and then they'll say, I think there's 3 keys it's required to unlock a choice of either a bow and arrow or I think it's the only one that's 3 keys. And the next one's 5 keys, and it's a spear that you can throw, and you can call it back to you kind of almost you would think Thor's hammer. As you throw it, it's your special, and then you hit Y again on your controller, and it will come back to you, and it'll hit the enemies from behind, and it'll do that backstab damage. So you can get beneficial damage by throwing it and then calling it back. But if you don't align yourself correctly with the characters, it'll miss them. So you got to try to make it so you throw it and call it right back, so it goes through them one time and then comes back through them again and hits him a second time for more damage.
Yeah, that game looks like a lot of fun. I know Ryan will post his times with different fighting abilities. And yeah, I haven't had much time to watch a lot of streams on it. And I see now it's actually on Steam, but it's still just a little bit cheaper on.
I got it on Steam.
On Epic.
I didn't want to support it on Epic.
Screw you, Epic. You're not getting our money.
Yeah, that game came out when the Epic Store came out, but it went full release here recently. Then it finally came to Steam, and so I just went ahead and got it on Steam because I can share it with my kids and stuff like that. So usually, if I can get a game on Steam, is where I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just having a good time with it. It's got great music, like Gibbs said. I think the company is Supergiant Games, and they make a great story also. So like the music is really good, the story is good. It makes sense why, like, when you keep dying, like how you can respawn and why you're respawning. You know, like most games, it's kind of hard to explain why you're respawning over and over and the progression of things. But also too is, again, as you're talking to all the different gods in the game, and they give you different conversations each time, and it continues on like a certain dialogue. So you kind of have this story going with each of them, and you learn more each time. And it has like a book, and it kind of fills you in a little bit. And you can give them this oil as like a gift. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a nectar or something, and it'll give you like favoritism with them. And once you get so many like hearts with them, they'll give you an item, and you can equip that item on your run, and that'll stay with you that whole entire run. And so you can get benefits like another respawn on death. You can get a benefit of like having, like, one of them was you have 30% more armor or 30% less damage taken from the front, but you take 10% more damage from behind. So you can equip that and have more protection from the front, but if you get hit from behind, it hurts a lot more. And if you have that equipped, it tells you how many levels you have to clear with that item equipped, and you can level it up. So it'll level, and then it'll have a better effect for later on down the road. So you can level each of these individual items up, and you can also, that just more replayability in this game is you can level all your weapons up. So you start getting this Titan blood stuff, and once you start unlocking that, and you have all the weapons bought in the game, I think there's maybe 6 weapons off the top of my head. Once you unlock all the weapons, and the last one's kind of like a little gun almost. You can almost make it like a shooter. And once you unlock that, you start getting the ability to use this Titan blood to level the weapons up even more. And so there's a whole level of leveling in that, on top of the leveling of your character, on top of the leveling of your charm. So there's so many little things you can level up in this game and continue to make it easier. So even if you're not a real great player at this kind of game, you're just going to keep getting stronger the more you play. So it just keeps you coming back, and you'll eventually beat this game. Gunny, even, I guess it'll turn into a baby mode for you. You get something so OP at some point that you're just going to pretty much get through this game if you put enough time into it.
Yeah, I'll probably come on the show and say, guys, I beat Hades. I one-shotted the enemy. Well, how many times did you fucking die, Gunny? Like about 1,000 times, and it took me a year to get to that point. 400 hours into the game, I finally beat it.
I was listening. Just gonna throw a quick shout out to
I haven't played
DL Gaming Podcast. They were talking about Hades this week, and one of their hosts, guests they had on there, he was talking about he beat it on his 15th run. So very impressive, and he likes those kind of games, and he's always been really good at them. But yeah, he beat the game on his 15th run. Beat Hades and all that. So kudos to him. But yeah, I think I'm like on my 25th run or something like that, and I'm still like one level away from the end. So he definitely did a good job there. But that was Minnie. He was on our show a while back. Minnie Del Macho over at DL Gaming's podcast.
Minnie, I did hear him. I think I might have, like, my day might have ended, like, because I had Friday off, so I think that's where I had stopped listening to that episode, but he had talked about it. Yeah, 15, that's pretty good. It's going to take me probably 75 runs.
Yeah, like I said, I'm in the 20s, I think, so, and I'm not even close. I am what they call, I think, Elysium, which is kind of like the heaven area. And I find the most frustrating enemies in this game, Gunny, is the butterflies. And that just sounds so deadly, I know, a butterfly, right? But they come at you in swarms. There's like 30 of them coming at you. There's like this little thing that spawns them, and they are so difficult to dodge sometimes. They only do like 2 damage when they hit you, but they are just at times everywhere, and you just can't help but run into them. But
wow. Yeah.
You get so many things going on screen sometimes. You're trying to dodge other enemies. You're trying to dodge their attacks. There's some environmental hazards going on at the same time at that part. And then you have to deal with these butterflies coming at you, and they kind of seek you down. So they keep coming at you.
Yeah, it's like I've seen that where people when they dodge, like you can just dodge right into something environmental and an enemy. Like basically, it's like you just dodge to the wrong place in the map.
I do that every once in a while. On the second world you get to is like a lava world, and so on the outside edge of the map will be lava, and sometimes even like in the center there'll be like an area that you can't go into, but you can dash right into it, and when you stop in it, if you're there for more than like say 2 seconds, you catch on fire. Like fire kind of starts hitting on the screen, and you start taking damage. So you got to like watch out for that. And there's also like these traps. There's pressure plates on the ground. If you step on those and you're standing on the pressure plate, some spikes will come up and stab you, or like a statue will fire like an arrow out of it and it'll hit you. And so you got to watch out for those. You can't just like blindly just keep dashing and dodging and counterattacking. You got to kind of like be mindful where you're going, and have some strategy behind it. So.
Do you get like are there health flasks or other things you can consume while in combat?
Yeah, so you don't have anything like in the middle of combat like you would in Dead Cells. You know, like how in Dead Cells you can hit like LB on your controller and you can do a heal, and you have a health flask and you have so many heals. This game, if you die and you don't have one of those respawns, you're just dead. But every time you clear a room, there's a perk that'll give you like 1 or 2 health points, which is very little, I know. But there is points where you can run across item shops and healing fountains. Like you can come to a random level and there'll be a fountain in there, and that fountain will heal you for like say 35 points, hit points of your 75 that you have. So if you're at 50, it's going to take you back to full health. But if you're at 5 hit points going in and it heals you to 35, now you're at 40, So, but then you can also come across, like I said, there's a merchant. He will usually sell you like a health potion. That health potion, it will immediately heal you for whatever health it says. Usually it's like 25 or 30 again. So you can buy that with the currency that you keep finding on the ground and stuff on your run also. So you just have to choose how to spend your money and try to maintain your health. Work your way through. Some other stuff too is kind of neat is there's different bosses. So the very first boss you fight, she's called a Fury, and you talk to her multiple times, and you know each other, and you kind of, her name is Megan, I think, or Meg, I think they say in short. And I bet after probably like 10 times of killing her, her sisters appear, and one is called like, I can't remember the name, but all she says is murder. And she's just like, murder, murder. And you're just kind of like, I know, murder, and that boss fight's completely different. So the game changes after you beat that first boss so many times. You start getting a random first boss. There's one of these these Fury girls you'll have to fight, and each fight's a little different. So like now it's to the point where like, I don't know which one I'm going to have when I get into that room. So that's kind of interesting too. That keeps the game fresh in my mind too. So, because you're not just guaranteed to fight the same boss, and you walk in that room, you know exactly where you're getting into. It could change on you any run. So that makes it really fun.
That's cool, man. I gotta pick this up. I just haven't had time to. I'm like, man, I can get this with the $10 coupon at Epic.
Yeah, very worth it if you could get that $10 coupon in Epic, because I think it's $25 is the full price, and if you can get it for $15, I would say definitely get it. And I wouldn't even hesitate if it's your kind of game, definitely pay the $25 to get it, because everybody I know that has picked it up has just sunk tons of hours into this game. So I would definitely suggest picking it up, and everybody seems to like it, that plays it. Even my youngest son, Injustice, he's not even into these kind of games. He picked it up and played it at my house one night on the computer, and he played it for like 6 hours straight. So it's not been his kind of game. So it's a very addictive, and it's a keep giving you that one more run kind of feel, and so that is sign of a good game right there. It just kind of keeps you coming back, and you can just continue to play this game for a while, and even after you beat the game, I know Gibbs, he's still playing it, and there's still stuff to unlock, and there's still lore you can unlock and stuff like that. So, and you can still put points in these weapons and upgrade them and stuff too. So there's still things to do, even if you beat the game like Manny Del Macho in 15 rounds. you can still continue on with this game and learn more story and learn more stuff as you play. So
Nice.
it also has some good replayability there. But besides that, that's been like it. I pretty much those 2 games and a little bit. I've been watching some Twitch streams here and there, watching some friends play Phasmophobia and watching them grind through that and just kind of hanging out on their streams. But yeah, that's it. What about you, Gunny?
Any more Among Us lately, or?
No. We tried to get together a group on Friday last week, and it was kind of a quiet night. So we didn't we had maybe 4 or 5 people, so we didn't jump in. But soon, I think they have some updates coming out, so I think we need to get back in there and have an Among Us night again here real soon.
Yeah, I missed an entire day Saturday because I was like, yeah, I scheduled you an eye appointment for Saturday, and I'm like, okay, it's like a super early appointment. It was like 8 in the morning, but they dilated my pupils or whatever, and so everything was super blurry, and I look like a stoned cat, for at least 4 or 5 hours, and it was I was trying to play games Saturday. Early afternoon, and it was I just can't do this, But I did play a couple of games this week. That FrostPunk, The Rifts. I know I've spoken about this before, but this is and I think I was telling a Mega Pain that I was like, man, they should just call this Frost Souls or something, because it's
yeah,
it's a fun game, and I can literally go through a run in about, I'm going to say 20 minutes. And you can do it a lot faster by speeding up time, or you can just keep it on normal time, and, it would just extend it out for an hour or so, or even longer, where depending on how good you are, it'll go for several hours. But yeah, the only difference between the Rifts and the regular, it's just, you just find it in the endless mode. And you're just playing the regular game, except it's just, this one just comes with bridges. So you have to build these bridges that lead to the other parts of where other resources are, or where you can, build, whether it be housing or other structures that help you progress in the game. And you could how do you say it? Kind of paint yourself into a corner where, if you use up enough metal, you're not going to be able to construct a bridge to the next area, of land. So, unless you're willing to deconstruct something that has a lot of metal in it, which you're not going to take down, your hospitals and things like that are truly needed. So I know
you don't need a hospital, Gunny. What do you need a hospital for?
No, everybody just die. I'll just build 4 graveyards.
It's and then 5 degrees. Nobody gets sick when it's 5 degrees, Gunny.
Why do people need housing? That's what I want to know. They can all stand under the generator.
Just burn the hospital.
Burn it down, salvage the metal.
Make some heat. Yeah, so you can make some heat by burning the hospital.
Right. And
the snow around them. They'll have some water to drink. See?
I'm a good leader, though. I actually, when it tells me to build elderly care or senior care, whatever it's called in the game, it's yeah, I'm going to build that. And, people are going to, it's like a convalescent hospital, right? Just can't think of the actual name of the game but the good thing about that one is where it says, hey, build it, that one's auto, it takes care of itself. You don't need to manage it with workers or anything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, people just go there. If you're an amputee, that's where you're going, after the hospital. But yeah, I've gotten to several points where I was I went and did 3 quick runs where I'm all right, I screwed up. I didn't have enough, resources for a bridge. So I'm going to try and just see what I can do here. But you do have that discontent bar and then there's hope, right? So those 2 things control if discontent goes all the way up, you lose the game. If hope goes all the way down, you lose the game. Or I can say hey, you got 2 full days to raise your hope. It could be a complete 0, but it'll give you a grace period. You got 2 days to raise it up to 15%. But I mean, the game's pretty much over at that point. And there's only so much you can do, to bring hope, bring hope alive, man.
This game is always still everybody here talks about how hard this game is. So, I feel like if you really want a good challenge, like it just puts you in so many dire situations. It's just so good at making it so difficult. And you got, do you want to feed your kids sawdust or do you want to feed them this, or stuff like that? Or do you want to put your kids to work and stuff like that? It's so many hard decisions they make you make in that game.
It almost reminds me of maybe a little bit of like how you had mentioned Hades. It possibly set the same way, or like a Dead Souls, where and I guess what I mean by that is like where I think I'm still learning this game, because it's like if you can get an away team or whatever they call it, where, you put up this weather balloon and people will venture out to other areas and they'll gather resources. They'll bring back more survivors. The more survivors, the more people to build things, right? But it is like more mouths to feed and more people that can get sick or injured. But I think it's just like how quickly you can do it. And maybe the other issue I was having is where I wasn't sure if I was having where I've got these hunter huts and, you can have up to 15 people in your hut, but you do got to manage your people as well. I can't just say like, 15 people here and 15 over there, and you just got to run out of people, right? So there's certainly that balance. And I'm like, wait, maybe I put it out too far, and they have to walk out too far to hunt for food, and they're not bringing back enough raw food, or it's just like, maybe I'm doing something wrong there. I'm sure if I kept playing it more and more and gotten teams that venture out to scouts is what they're called, if they scout further or faster, and at the same time, I didn't mention this earlier, but you do have, what are they called? They're like, you basically have these points that research, right? So you could research different things. The scouts will scout faster and people will eat less or something, and heaters will be hotter, and the range of that heater will be, even bigger. But there's things like where you can say, okay, so the heater range is out there more, but it's burning more coal. So all those things you have to manage. It's a lot of clicking, and I just had a lot of balance. But I have a ton of fun with it every time, and I get in, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then it might be 15 where I'm like, oh man, like, how did I only do 15? But it's not like super frustrating. I do want to keep jumping back into it to kind of, try all these different things. But yeah, I always have a lot of fun with that game.
That game's also on Game Pass yet, correct?
Yeah, I've been playing on, I think, do I play on Steam or do I play on it? I don't even remember, because it's like the same exact thing.
I remember you picking this game up on Steam.
I played on Steam. I'm thinking that's right. I use a mouse and keyboard. So yeah, I first got it on Steam, and that's where I've been playing it. There is that option, like if you connect your controller, it'll be like, oh hey, you're playing like, with an Xbox controller. It's the same exact controls on console. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, just love that game. I have not bought in the DLC. Again, I see it. It was like a couple dollars off sale, and I'm like, oh man, like I got to get this, but I'm really saving up for that Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yeah,
I'm excited. When you talk about Valhalla, I have it pre-downloaded, so I'll have it available in the morning. So that's probably what I will be playing this week. So just a little sneak peek into that. The game is pre-downloaded. The download is only like 50 gig. So I'm not sure if it's going to download some more stuff after that, or if the game's just going to launch. But I will find out tomorrow after work. So we'll see.
I'm trying to think what they had said about Valhalla as far as the map size. I don't know how much larger it would have been with like Odyssey or previous
I
titles.
Hope it's not way bigger than Odyssey, because remember Odyssey was like, oh my gosh, it's so much bigger than Origin.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was
gonna
get so much bigger. It's gonna be like so drawn out. 'Cause I remember it took me forever to beat Origin, and then I never even attempted Odyssey, because that one was like a year later. And I was kind of burned out on Assassin's Creed, so I skipped that one. And so I've been anticipating this one, so definitely ready for an Assassin's Creed game again.
Yeah, I think I kind of mainlined Origins, and only because I had like the time for that game and just fell in love with it. Yeah, that was so good. The Yeah, but then Odyssey, no. I still pick away at that game. I haven't played it in a couple of weeks, but I'll get in there. I'll hack and slash enemies. Go try to find like the lowest, level quest that I can do, to just get like 1 inch closer to, gaining a level in that game. And again, I'll say this, man, and I've said it before on that show, like I am not paying any extra money to level up my character. I'm not going to do it.
Oh yeah, they're good.
No cheating. Not going to do it.
Throwing that out there. Gunny, just one more level.
One more level. I made it. 4, 5.
Is this enemy too hard for you, Gunny? No baby mode here.
That's right.
Increase your level.
I will say I'm playing on normal, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm using no buffs for anything for that game. I don't know. I feel like that would take the fun out of it, even at this point where I'm like, all right, oh gosh, like I want to finish it before 2021 or something. Like, nah, I feel like I would. I mean, I'm not going to go just, do random stuff because you can put 1,000 hours into that game if you chose to. But yeah, I'll try to keep doing what I'm doing, man. And whether it's next year or the year after. Keep
grinding away at it, little by little, I guess.
It's still a fun game. I'm going to continue to do whatever I can in that game.
It's still a good looking game also, I feel, it still looks very, relative to today's games. It's a good looking game.
And I think that's the other reason why, I'll fire that up on the Xbox One X and I'll have it playing on the OLED TV, right? Mm-hmm. Where I also feel like I'm getting that enjoyment of it as well, where I'm like, wow, look at those environments, look at the ocean, look at those boats. Characters are decent, and yeah, climbing up mountains and climbing up all the different buildings and statues and stuff. Like, that's why I loved Origins so much as well. So, enough about that, guys. I've been playing today. Finally got an opportunity. Blaze from the Blaze Experience. He's been streaming on a lot on Twitch. Well, not a lot, but
streaming again. I think there was a little while there he wasn't streaming for a while, and
yeah, he's not doing he hasn't been doing the podcast, but he has been streaming, especially on Mondays, is when my day off of when I'm here, and so yeah, we've been trying to get together for like the last 3 weeks or whatever, and finally we get in there to play Wasteland 3. I know that he's completed it several times. And, of course, I'm only a level 5. All my characters are like 4 and 5 and possibly 6. And, he's like 29, 35. And so I'm like, okay, how did this multiplayer thing work? And he's like, okay, so you control 3 characters and I control 3 characters. And along with that, you do have, like I mentioned before, you have companions. And how do I say, like, they're almost automatic. You do have to go out and you can either find them randomly, whether it's a cat or a 2-headed goat or whatever, you can just see it in the environment. You can walk up and you charm it. Is that what it's called? Yeah, you charm the animal if you have those ability points, and again, everything is a chance in this game. A crit chance, a hit chance, everything. True RPG here. So yeah, he gave me at first, I think I had a sniper, 1 melee character, and then a guy with a pistol. And the 3 that he had, and I think it was kind of like balanced, where he had like the other 3 same characters. And so basically what we did was played the end of the game in different ways, which was cool because I was like, hey, I'm not really worried about spoilers. I'll never finish this game. But it was like cool to get into the really cool combat of this game. It's all the same throughout, but really just with, you're getting more action points and better weapons and stuff like that. So, it was nice to get like tons of achievements for the end of the game in different ways.
That's almost better than baby mode, Gunny.
Right? I know. This was like true baby mode for me.
It's like hard carry mode.
And I think he was mentioning, he had mentioned also, what was it? That he wanted to do something else in the game. And I said, oh, hey, Blaze, why don't you, so when you get that done and all leveled up and played through, then contact me. Then I'll join your game. It's like you do all the legwork, then I'll jump into multiplayer and you can hand me over that character. No, I wouldn't do that. But either way, it was a lot of fun. He had So his companions, he had like this honey badger, and that thing is like, you know how like a honey badger is in Far Cry. You know, if that thing just gnaws away at your ankles and shins, you know, like you're gonna die, right? Yeah, and so it didn't matter what kind of enemy it was. It was like an armored enemy, you know, just a regular somebody in just normal armor, or it was like one of these spider mechs. You know, that thing was just like chomping through it. He had the two-headed goat. He had, what else was it? It was like a bison, like, you know, like this big giant like muscle bison thing, buffalo, and yeah. So their kind of thing is like, you know, like once combat is initiated, almost like an XCOM style type thing where I think they go first. Like, you know, like once it's your turn, your animals, companions go and, you know, chew up the enemies. And that's kind of automatic. They just kind of do their thing, and then you do yours, and then the second player can do one. But yeah, I just had a blast going through there. It was like all the areas that I already kind of knew and some that were new to me. But either way, we finished it, I think 3 different times in 3 different ways, because there's a lot of dialogue to this game for sure. Different options, and, you know, like just like in probably the last several Wasteland games, and is it Outer Worlds, right? Where, you know, or like even like a Far Cry game, if like you've got to have like the skill points to either, you know, kiss ass in dialogue or have enough meanness or toughness to, yeah.
Like a skill tree, kind of like something like you would have in like Fallout 76 or like your Skyrim type kind of games where you can put points in like your charisma and stuff like that.
All exactly like that. Pretty much like that. It's laid out. I love the way it's laid out too, where you do have your, you've got your perk points. Is it your action points or your skill points, right? And then there's one other thing in there that you can upgrade. So, and that can be like, so you really have to like focus, I think, on how you're leveling up a character, right? Because, you know, if you have a character that is like a heavy and he's like machine guns and, you know, bazookas or whatever, you know, like you got to decide like, okay, how do you want to level up that character versus your other 5, right? Not everybody's going to have like lock picking or something. Like it wouldn't make sense. And I don't think they share it. It's not like that, but everybody's going to get their equal amounts. But yeah, maybe make sure you're, you know, the heavy or something with a melee is getting more melee skill points, right? And level that dude up all the way. But there's still like, there's so much to it, right? Melee and science and other types of skills. And there are skill books that you can pick up. You might be able to purchase them too at the different vendors. So there's a freaking ton to this game.
I've never played, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Divinity Original Sin 2. Have you ever played that game?
You know what? I've always wanted to play it on Xbox, but it was always too expensive. And I've never played it. Always wanted to.
Great RPG. Long storyline. I own it on Steam, so you could use the Mayo Pass and you could play the first one, I believe. It should share. But the only thing I can warn you, like the first one is this game does not hold your hand at all, Gunny. And you can delete or sell any item in the game. And it can be something that you are required to have at the end of the game. And you would have to remember to go back to that vendor and buy it back. You do have that option, but you have to remember what vendor you sold it to. So like, you know, it could be some obscure thing. Like you're almost afraid to sell things in this game sometimes. Like you go in there and you're like, I don't know what this artifact is, but do I need it? You almost want to have you Google up and search through the you know, ask Google them kind of questions and be like, is this something I should sell or is it a quest item? Because the game will just let you sell anything. The second one, they kind of improved upon that. So they made it so you couldn't sell major items, but it still is relatively difficult. And it's also a long game, but it has that nice top down isometric view and kind of turn-based strategy like that. Not so much like XCOM. It's more action packed than that. But it is kind of turn-based in a way.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, that is right. I know that when I was Steam sharing with certain people that I want to say it was like some kind of definitive edition came out or something, or and I was like, oh yeah, let me download this thing, and then it was like, whoa, this game is deep, man. I only made it like maybe an hour into the game, and I was like, what am I doing?
I think in the first one, I think I maybe possibly spent like 6 hours of in-game in the first town alone, solving mini quests and different little quests in that town. And then even then, there's all these different people you can pick up and have in your party, so you can change the game multiple playthroughs. You can have different parties and stuff like that. And there's different weapons and abilities those people are going to have. You know, there's going to be ranged characters, there's going to be magic characters, going to be melee characters. There's so many options that you can run in this game, and it's a pretty good game.
Is that like, is it equal to or similar to, like, is it called Pathfinder Kingmaker?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just sounds similar to that. I want to say those are like even on console now, but again, I've never played Divinity Original Sin 1 or 2 or whatever it is, and then or those other ones. Just
yeah, I highly recommend it though. If you and it sounds kind of like what Wasteland is, kind of something similar. I might have to check it out and see. Probably not as much RPG as Divinity, but it sounds like it's a similar kind of game the way it's kind of done.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I've played the most of this week. So, man, I'm going to say we're done talking about that. Let's move on to some breaking news. It's news time, people. Man, let me get a sound bite for the news.
Like the sound machine's broke. I don't know.
It was like, yeah, it busted. All right, what do we got here? Sega asking 650 employees to voluntarily retire an executive. What? You know, I was watching little pieces and bits today, and I was like, what is going on with Sega? Oh, was it like, I think it was Friday, they were talking about selling off their arcade business or something. So,
yeah, some restructuring maybe going on there. That's a big chunk. 600. I mean, and probably in the grand scheme of things, they probably have a lot of employees. But when you hear that number, 650 employees to voluntarily retire, and they're cutting executive salaries, you know, it makes you wonder what's going on over there. Like, you know, are they just restructuring? We kept hearing rumors of maybe Microsoft buying them and stuff like that.
Yeah, yes. It's like, yeah, and I hope it is kind of like, I'm sure it's a thing of like where they spread it around. Maybe the New York office, the Los Angeles office, assuming there is one, and Japan, and so it's really not that much of an effect. So it says here, following this week's news, that Sega Sammy is set to sell the majority of its shares in Sega Entertainment. The company has now announced that it is asking 650 employees to voluntarily retire and will slash the salaries of top executives. Who the heck is Sega Sammy? I have no idea.
Either.
It says the company formed by a merger of both Sega and Sammy in 2004. Okay. Sega Sammy has revealed its plans in a newly published Notice of Forecast document, as spotted by Kotaku. The note reads, in light of the situation that many of our group businesses are significantly affected by COVID-19, we have established a structural reform committee to reform or organize structure to adapt to the external environment. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, hopefully when this COVID thing is going, you know, showing signs that it is leaving us, that we can bring these people back here. I'm just reading down here where it talks about monthly salaries cut by 30% with senior executive vice president, senior vice president also getting 20 and 10 monthly cuts respectively. Oh, you know, so I wonder if like these are like, I wonder if this has to do a lot with like like I had mentioned, the arcade business. Do you think?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I mean, that makes more sense because I would assume that with COVID, they're probably selling way more games.
Well,
but again, that's digitally.
Business. Yeah, arcade business anymore. Like, I don't know how many arcades you have in your area anymore, but there's not really hardly too many around here anymore. We have a couple like Dave and Buster's and a couple like Magic Mountains and stuff like that, but there's not a whole lot anymore.
No, there's like, yeah, I can't even think of like, I mean, do we even have like, I'm just trying to think of like, is there even a bar? Because they're not in the malls anymore. Neither of my malls. Matter of fact, like the only thing like in the mall that I go to is it's basically like they just have like 40 or 50 Xboxes, hooked up to TVs. And then you can do like pizza parties and stuff, and everybody can play, games together, that sort of thing. But it's not, no true arcade cabinets or anything stand up. Dave & Buster's, they've never really been in like my area. They have been down in south of me, of course. But yeah. So yeah, man, hopefully, that sucks, man. It's a lot of people. Hopefully, ouch, don't get rid of too many people, Sucks to be laid off, especially during COVID. But moving on here to BioWare. Says a brand new Mass Effect game is in development. Yes.
Yeah, big announcement over there.
Bam.
Announcing a new, not a remake. Well, that's other news, but a new Mass Effect game on top of a remake.
Yeah. What was the last one? Pathfinder? No, what? That was Jesus Pathfinder. Andromeda. Thank you. That was one game it never grabbed me. So it was like, it was mediocre. So I'm like, okay, not going to waste my time. I'm going to keep moving on. So really, never really truly played more than 2 hours of that game.
Yeah, that's some good news. We've been asking for a remake for a while. Like a lot of people, like the community and different people that I talked to, just want a remake of the first, Mass Effect. The first one was so good.
Yeah,
they could just do like a modern,
Yeah, and I think the only there was like a glitch in 1 or 2, and then maybe the controls for 1 were like literally the only people's true complaints of that game.
And see, I think 1 was more designed for mouse and keyboard. I feel like, Gunny, if you would go back and play that game on mouse and keyboard, you would have been way more comfortable than what you were with the Xbox. I think the game originally released on PC first. I'm not positive on that, but I remember back in my early PC days, I had picked this game up like when it first came out, and I thought it felt really nice. Like the layouts, the menus were very mouse and keyboard friendly. It was very point and click kind of friendly compared to the using your controller to navigate through stuff. And I just feel like that game in general was just designed for mouse and keyboard, the aiming and the movement and all that kind of stuff. It just moved around, and you could pause the game by hitting spacebar, and then you could like click on the enemy, and you could click on your ability, like, okay, I'm going to use this ability. So when you hit the spacebar again, it would unpause the game, and your team that would be with you would execute those commands that you assigned. So the game would kind of almost be like turn-based with action at the time, and I really enjoyed the original Mass Effect. That series is such a good series, and I'm looking forward actually to go through and playing that game again.
Yeah.
With the remake, that's something I definitely want to pick up when it does come out.
Yeah, I'll definitely do the same, because I never really played Mass Effect 1. It was always 2, and yeah, I put a good 80 hours into that second one and loved it and enjoyed all the DLC for it. And I didn't pick up all the DLC for 3 though. I think once I had beat it, like Mass Effect 3, and it was like, okay, I'm good, I'm done. I'm also happy with the ending. And that was that.
They're also saying in here, this article, toward the end of the article, it says it's busy time for BioWare. It says it just announced the Mass Effect. They call it the Legendary Edition, which is the trilogy we're talking about. And it's also working on Dragon Age 4, which is something that, it's been in talks for a long time. And that's, almost, I call it like a medieval Mass Effect. It's kind of a more medieval time and stuff like that. But that was always a pretty good series also. And it says they are trying to revitalize Anthem. So they got some work ahead of them there. Like, I don't know if you can revitalize Anthem, but
I doubt it. I doubt they could. And it'll be. I almost think that it'll be Yeah, they just had to throw that in there, didn't they? No, I just think it'll be
just to let you know it's still alive. There's like 3 guys over in a studio working on it somewhere. The movie Office Space. They always have the guy that's in the corner.
Yeah,
keep moving his office. They probably have like one guy in the corner working on Anthem, and they just kind of keep moving around just to keep that game name out there.
Is that the guy when we walk in and we're there to fix the electrical mail? We walk in and we're like, "Who's that guy?" Oh. That's the guy working on Anthem. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Anthem guy.
We continue to the other corner.
But and it says they're also they're still operating the MMO Star Wars: The Old Republic. That game's been around for a minute also. So
yeah,
a lot of people liking the old Star Wars Old Republic game. So still a good amount of people at this time. But moving on, Gunny, I'm gonna keep on going on some news here. We're gonna talk something that's gonna make Jesus excited, and Jesus is gonna be excited because Battlefield 6 is gonna be launching holiday of 2021, and it says we will have a kind of scale like never seen before, Gunny. So
boom,
bigger, better Battlefield 6. So they did announce holiday 2021. So next year, Battlefield 6 coming.
Hey, I'm glad they gave it a year off too.
It's been I don't know how many years it's been now since Battlefield 5 has been out. Is it like 2?
Probably at least 2 years. And yeah, it's still a fun game. I mean, I'm sure I'll probably buy Battlefield 6 this time around. Would I buy it this year? Or this holiday if let's say it came out, I'd probably wait. Because it's like not time for a new Battlefield yet. So glad.
The article says in a recent earnings call for EA, the company reaffirmed that the next title in the Battlefield series will be launching in holiday 2021, with more information coming in the next few months. Additionally, there is apparently be of a never before seen scale, taking full advantage of next generation console platforms. And it goes on to say, it says the next Battlefield is set to launch in holiday 2021. And we are excited to share a lot more information about it in the spring. Andrew Wilson, CEO of EA, said to report, DICE is creating our next Battlefield game with never before seen scale. The technical advancements of the new consoles are allowing the team to deliver on a true next-gen vision for the franchise. So, and it says it hasn't gotten an official name yet, but presumably titled Battlefield 6, or will it be Battlefield V1 or VI, as Roman numeral stuff, has been teased ever so slightly thanks to the next-gen tech teaser EA released in the recent EA Play Live conference.
Yeah, so it just says, it could be bigger map, right? It's just, we'll have to wait. They just want to give us the hype. Bigger maps, bigger weapons, bigger vehicles. What kind of scale?
Holiday 2021 launch will see the longest wait time between a Battlefield game in the franchise's history. So it's been the longest wait between a Battlefield game. So hopefully that means some good things. Hopefully they took some time and put it into this game.
Yeah,
and they can make it amazing.
Yeah, that's good. And I think instead of just shitting one out this year and going, here guys, here it is. It looks exactly like the other ones. That's cool, man.
Instead of that Call of Duty approach. And I don't know, I feel like the Call of Duty was kind of rushed. Not rushed, but I feel like the last one was so good, and I don't have any desire to play this one. I don't know, maybe Jesus can change my mind, but right now I still would rather play Modern Warfare.
Yeah, and so do they, right? They're thinking the same thing because they're like, whoa, man, the next Call of Duty, we're going to throw in Warzone because it was part of the
whole massive online, the free to play massive multiplayer. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Battlefield 6 is gonna be on its way. If you want to call it Battlefield 6. I don't know. We'll see. But some other news, Gunny. We're going to talk some Cyberpunk news for you here.
Oh, Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Cyberpunk. They're out there. They're just making victims, Gunny. They are a bunch of bullies.
So I've been kind of out of the loop here the last several days. Did it get delayed again? Is that what's up?
No, not
I'm
delayed.
like, I know.
But they are causing more delays. Yet another game, Gunny, is delaying because of Cyberpunk. They are afraid of Cyberpunk, Gunny.
Who's afraid of Cyberpunk this time?
So the game, The Medium, the new horror game in the works at Layers of Fear Studio. Is it Bloober Team?
Bloober Team
Has been delayed. It says it has rescheduled to arrive on December 10th. The developer said today that because of the COVID-19 pandemic and certain other things that were supposed to happen in November but are now taking place in December, is decided to put everything off until January 28th. And it says it was an easy choice to make, but it wasn't an easy choice to make, but one made due to the COVID-19 situation in Poland, as well as the current schedule of other games on the market. It said they remain committed to delivering our biggest, most ambitious, fear-introducing experience yet. So yet another game, Gunny, that sees the Cyberpunk being moved, and everybody wants to shift and get out of the way.
Wow.
It's just crazy that, the game has that much draw to it, that they just know the game's going to be so big, and everybody's trying to move out of their way. Again, I said it the last show, I think the only game that wouldn't be afraid of Cyberpunk right now is Call of Duty. They would come out the same day. They would be like, all right, yeah, we can do this. But yeah, everybody else, it seems, Path of Exile, I think, was the other one that ran away from Call of Duty launch date. And it also says in here, it's going to say that Everspace 2 is another game that changed its release date because of Cyberpunk. And that game is something else I'm looking forward to. I really enjoyed the first Everspace. That was kind of that roguelike space shooter.
Yeah.
In outer space, and you were a spaceship, and it just had beautiful graphics. That was one of my favorite games to play on my ultra wide. It just looks so amazing.
Yeah, I did play that. I played that on the Mayo Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. That was such a good game too.
What is it? December 5th? Correct me if I'm wrong for Cyberpunk. The new date.
That was December 10th.
Yeah, oh, so it is the 10th? So, yeah. I don't know. 5th, 10th, 7th, some shit like that. But
December. That's all you need to know, guys. Beginning of December.
Yeah.
One game only. Put your money back. Save your money. Cyberpunk's coming, guys.
Yeah, so December 2nd, right? I said it before. CD Projekt Red comes out. Psych! January 18th, 2021. Everybody just keeps getting moved up. That would suck. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Cyberpunk, you don't come out December 10th, boycotting you.
Oh.
Not getting my money at all.
See how good this game is.
Tease me like 4 times. All right, what do we got next year? Godfall, that's that PlayStation 5 game. It says here, is it a 6-month timed PS5 console exclusive? Sony confirms that. Godfall's PS5 launch trailer was published overnight at the end of its reveal. The particle effect heavy looter RPG that will remain a PS5 exclusive. Oh, that's because I was thinking like, oh man, I'll be able. Wait. So let me see here. Okay, it says Godfall, developed by Counterplay Games and published by Gearbox, launched alongside the PS5 on November 12th. And is out on the PC via the Epic Store too. Oh, so that's not too bad. The news doesn't confirm Godfall isn't coming to Xbox Series X and S, but it seems like a decent shout that it will appear on the Microsoft's next-gen console next summer.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes open. So it does kind of sound like, that it's maybe in 6 months, I would say like June, maybe May, that Godfall might be coming onto the Xbox.
Yeah, so it doesn't mention anything here about Xbox One versions of their console or the PlayStation 4. So this just tells me this is just really a truly next-gen game.
Yeah. The thing I find too is, and you can look too at the cost it listed. It listed in euros, I think, but this article, but they say it costs €70 for the PS5, which I'm gonna guess is $70 for us in the US, and it's saying it's gonna cost $50 on the PC, and on the PC you can buy it in the Epic Game Store. So it's kind of interesting to me that the PC version hasn't changed price either. At least 60, or maybe that transfers to $60 and the other one is like $80. I'm not sure, but the PC version though is going to be cheaper than the PlayStation version.
Yeah, I mean it's always going to be cheaper, but I see what you're saying. Our PC game price is going up.
Yeah,
that we don't know.
Last time, like PC game prices are starting to kind of creep up there. You still have your next gen games, and the prices are always kind of low, or not next gen games, but like your indie games. But when your major titles come out, like your Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, and your, let's say Cyberpunk, I think they're all pretty much the same price. Like the PC version isn't any cheaper anymore, but this game is going to be cheaper on the PC right now. It is the PlayStation. So
yeah, again, too early to tell, right? Because we still have to wait several months to really see how prices are going to be on next gen consoles, right? That's
I would anticipate $70 though, is the way it seems.
Same here. Yeah, it's definitely going to be that $10 increase across the board for sure. All right.
These games are getting longer. They take forever to finish now, and they keep packing more and more content into them. So, I mean, if you still look at the hour per dollar that you put into a game,
yeah,
I still think it's worth it. Like I can't complain.
Yeah, and and not to get off on a tangent here, Game Pass, Ubisoft's whatever their thing is called, EA Play, right? So we've got all these different. I feel like we've got other options, right? Before it was one option, buy it. Or no, I guess the other option could have been, if you're a console guy, it would have been, or girl, would have been the GameFly or Game Rentals or, there was always that. I think GameFly still exists, right?
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, I always see different deals. Twitter, buy your used games, man, on the cheap. Let's see here. Moving on. Sony, the PlayStation 5 won't be sold in retail stores on launch day. Sales are online only. I saw a lot of sad faces, and I think I initially put a sad face on the Facebook thread when I first saw it, and then I thought, wait a minute. I'm not going to be standing in no Corona line, man. This is actually good news.
Yeah, I think, too, this is just kind of trying to, save not mass craziness in the stores like Best Buy and Walmart and all the people. And I think it's trying to save the headache of the stores turning people away. The stores aren't going to have them, and they're just trying to get it out there now and be like, look, if you ordered online, you're welcome to come and pick it up here, but we're not just going to have them on our shelves, and you can't just come and pick them up. So don't be calling us all the time saying, hey, do you have a PlayStation? Do you have any PlayStations? So, and I'm sure that probably happens. Those employees that probably work at the Best Buy and the Walmarts and all those people in electronic departments probably, who knows how many times they probably hear that question in probably opening weekend, especially, but even throughout the year, they probably get that question early on, do you have a PS5? Do you have the new Xbox? And they're just coming out and telling us, look, people, we're not going to have them just laying in the case. You're going to have to pre-order this thing, or not pre-order, but order it online, and you can come in and pick it up when it's ready. And they'll, you can come in and grab it then. Yeah,
right. That makes sense, and I think, yeah. So I think it's definitely a mixture between that and just pandemonium and craziness, and disappointment here, because it says here there will be no camping. Cannot camp out and be at the first crack at one. But you know what? I'll tell you right now, before I continue to read more of this, there's still going to be people camping out in front of Best Buy or GameStop.
Right.
How much you want to bet?
Oh, yeah. I think there's people that's not going to hear these. This news, and they're going to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be out there day one. Like, this PlayStation comes out. Let's go camp at Best Buy's parking lot.
Let's see, November 12th. So they're going to be out there on, they'll probably start Saturday afternoon and then set up their tents November 8th, right? They'll be out there,
right?
Having some tailgate parties. It says here, in the interest of keeping our gamers, retailers, and staff safe amongst the Rona, today we confirm that all launch sales will be conducted through the online stores of our retail partners. Sony Interactive Entertainment Sid Schumann said Thursday in a PlayStation blog. Sony confirmed that no units will be available in-store for purchase on launch day and advised customers to be safe, stay home, and place your orders online. I think, there's also going to be those, we will see occasional, like, psych, we had them in the store, but, the 10 people that came in got them or something, but there's going to be some salty people that read this news and didn't stand in a line, Who knows? We're going to see all of it. But yeah, it's going to be all the people that obviously pre-ordered as well. So there's that. But going over here, it says Sony will launch the next gen PlayStation on November 12th in the US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea. The standard edition of the PS5 cost $499, while the digital edition, the one that does not include that optical disc drive, is only $399. So I don't know. I just say, you know what? I say to the people out there listening, to our fellow listeners, get yourself a cooking grill, warm clothing. No, guys, stay home. Stay home, guys. Just order online. How's that? So if you didn't get one in the pre-order, just be ready on your computer or your iPad or your iPhone Android device. And you know what? Another piece of advice I have, and I could just be completely wrong on this, but I'm just thinking this is just my personal thoughts, where some of the articles I read before about Walmart, and I know they have like one of the largest like ships that come from mainland China. This thing's freaking massive when that thing pulls into LA. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think it comes to Oakland, near where I live at. I think it just goes straight to LA, to that shipping dock, because they've got a thing specially designed for it. But it already has to kind of be here, and already offloaded. And that thing. Oh,
I'm sure. That thing just get to the stores and everything too. And
yeah, and they've got I know they probably have several warehouses down in Southern California, and the one up here is literally you can it would take you 20 minutes to just drive it at highway speed to get past it. It's huge. It's huge. Good old Walmart. Even though I never go in there, I check their online sites. If I can buy one from there. But I guess it wouldn't matter. Just use the Target card or Best Buy. However I can get my hands on one of them. But
definitely.
Moving on, people, to some more news. We've got more PlayStation 5 news. And, I think I saw this today. It said it will not support 1440 displays after all. I know, I was reading Twitter and it was true or not true. But it just says here, as a report from IGN Italy, the company received official word from Sony themselves, as translated, that the upcoming PlayStation 5 will in fact not natively support 1440p resolution displays. Of course, those displays can still plug their PS5 into it, but instead of offering native 1440p UI elements and in-game resolutions, the output will presumably be limited to 1080p, most likely with downsampling. While this makes sense to some degree, as TVs jumped straight up from 1080p's to 2160, with the half-step resolution only being adopted to the PC and to a lesser degree mobile markets, many console players do not use PC monitors for console gaming, and so this decision by Sony is disappointing. I don't know. I don't know about this, Mayo. What percentage is going to use? That is true. What the percentage is using the?
It's probably low.
It's probably low, and yeah, it's. I don't know, and I'm thinking also I don't know if you're, and if you are using it because you don't have a TV, you're not. I'm thinking if it's downsampled to 1080p, you're probably not going to care anyway. If you're not one of those.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. So, people I've been talking to at work and stuff, they've been actually buying monitors for their Xboxes, and they're really liking them. They're getting these higher refresh rate monitors, and they're even their 1X. They're getting some higher frame rates, and they're really enjoying it. But they just like the size of the monitor compared to a big TV, and they're like, it's actually so much nicer. He's like, I was playing on a 65-inch TV, and I went to this 27-inch monitor, and I don't have to look so far left to right, and it just feels so much more natural.
Yeah.
But they, they're playing these higher refresh rate monitors, and they seem to really be enjoying the monitors. and you hear more and more talk. You even hear some talk in our community. I know Chavez in our community, will ask periodically about some monitors and stuff like that. And so with the PlayStation 5 going, not doing 1440, so it's, I think, downsampling is where it's going to do the 4K, and then just basically it's still going to be a 4K image. It's just going to reduce it back so it can be played, at 1080p on your monitor. So it's still going to look pretty good. So it just, you're not going to get that 1440 resolution, that in between 2K and 1080p. But it's going to allow for a faster refresh rate, I think. Did Sony say that they're going to support more than 60 frames? I don't remember now.
I don't see anywhere like in this article related to it, so I'm not exactly sure. And I'm just kind of reading through this to see if I can see anything about refresh rates.
I know. Microsoft has talked about that for the longest time, that you can go with a lower resolution and higher frame rate. But,
I just been like the only ones I've been seeing is just as related to Xbox as far as like what games are supporting, the 6120. But I haven't seen anything for PlayStation 5. So I don't know.
It did say, I did just look it up real quick, and it said Sony has said, the first article I've seen, it has said that next gen system will support 120 frames per second. So it sounds like they do have support for it. So.
Yeah, right. So I mean, they've got the hardware for it. So it would
just like Microsoft. I mean,
we're going to see that so much with console wars, and it'll become an article, right? Like the next Far Cry 6 game or whatever. Another example. That one has 60 on Series X, and the PlayStation 5 will only have 30. And fucking PC people over here be like, hold my fucking beer, Yeah. Shut the fuck up, you console. Right? Just, oh my gosh, yeah. Like, I'm sure we'll have to read the article. So, yeah.
I'm sure.
There'll be a lot of that, right? We've seen that so much this generation with, since the, the pro versions of consoles came out, and they're like, seem to be duking it out neck and neck as far as,
right.
Yeah.
It's like watching two little siblings fight as you're the parent.
Right. It's like,
oh, that's cute. Look at these two little kids over here.
It's like, I mean, just thinking about Xbox, once they got their 1X, right? And then it was, I got my blue bike, and it's got the super handlebars on it now. So we're kind of like, and I'm better just because they're blue. Right. It is. It's funny to watch. But yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's much of an issue. I'm sure we'll see. Just don't play it on a monitor, people. Play it on your 4K TV. How about that?
I mean, isn't that where it's meant to be played, in the living room? I mean,
or even a 1080p TV.
I sit there and say, I love my computer workspace. I don't play on my TVs. I have my Xbox One X, on my TV in the living room, and I don't really play because I don't really play in my living room. But I know a lot of people, that's what console gaming is. It's in the living room,
right?
And that's where they want to play. But I do know people who do like to play in their little work area and stuff like that. With their Xbox also, but most people, I'd say most of the community, are going to play in their living room. So
absolutely, it's just Xbox giving more options, right? So it's just one extra option. There you go. Good. I'm sure it made a handful of people happy with that. Even me, where I could say, hey, Mayo, I have this 1440p monitor. I paid a lot of money for it, and it's actually 165 hertz. I just play in 144. I just keep it right there, 144. I'm happy with all the, the few handful of games that I play on it. And I can definitely tell. I can definitely see those refresh rates, man. Yeah, it's easy to see. Especially when I try to go back to 1080p or something, even playing on the OLED TV, where I'm like, oh, it's prettier, but it's lower refresh rates. Yeah. But moving on to more news from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, massively reducing storage space required at launch. Oh, I knew we'd hear about this more and more. It says here, not long ago, Treyarch revealed the official Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War specs. PC specs, and one of the biggest surprises, not depending on how you view this, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was just how the game would be at launch. Now Treyarch has revealed the required storage space and has been massively reduced by 50%. What? It says here.
What's it saying? It's going to be what, 250 gig?
Yeah, it says Black Ops required, asking for a whopping 175 gigs of storage at launch, or 50 for the multiplayer only, and 250 we were planning on playing in 4K ultra settings with ray tracing. Whoa, 250, man. Now those requirements have been massively reduced down to just 82 for the full game, 35 for multiplayer, and just 12 or 125 for 4K ray tracing settings. So that's
how did they all suddenly cut this in half? So
okay,
you know they, it was at Treyarch, right? They're releasing this game, and they were confident enough to say 250 at some point. And now to turn around and be like, oh, we're just going to go and just cut that in half because we got some backlash on this. Because that they got to hear our complaints. I mean, this isn't just a PC thing. This is a console thing too.
Oh yeah.
Because 250 gigs to install on anything is quite the footprint. And I just find it amazing that they can also cut 50% from that and now only be 125 for max settings and stuff.
So what magic sorcery are they doing to cut this in half?
Well, why all of a sudden how can they just do this all of a sudden? And why? Okay, what about Modern Warfare? How about we cut Modern Warfare in half too?
Yeah,
they had to be. I mean, this is probably one of the things that prevented me from buying the game because Modern Warfare was only like 100 gig when it first came out or something like that, or 125. And it grew to 250 or whatever it is. I was like, when I heard that this one was going to be 250 gig off the rip, I'm like, this thing is going to be 350, 400 gig before we know it. And so it just made me not want to buy this game at all.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they're hearing that, and that's how they reduced it. But what did they take out of the game to get it down to 125, Gunny? That's what my question is. Are we just going to get less content now? Are they going to start taking out some of that multiplayer guns, and they're going to start taking out multiplayer skins to get that file size back down? But as soon as we buy it, it's going to be like, that whole I remember Call of Duty is always kind of good for like sending stuff out to be reviewed and kind of getting some good reviews, and then kind of adding a new feature like a month or two after the game comes out, and then people don't like that feature and it kind of hurts them. Is that something that they're going to do here? That the games we're going to be giving reviews and be like, oh yay, it's only 125 gig, and then in 4 weeks they're going to be like, patch 1.01, and just going to add 100 gig to the game.
Yeah, yeah. I think that and I'm just thinking that thinking of like maybe a PC. Oh, I'm sure. However they're doing this, like whether it would be PC or console, and they're going to work different ways. Where, yeah, are they taking out pixels? Are they removing like blades of grass or something? And like,
or just weapon skins? Are they taking away some weapon skins right now and then bringing them back later?
That's what I would.
Multiplayer?
Yeah, how does that work? I can only imagine like just how they're doing this, but me and man, we were talking off air here about console space and Call of Duty, and I'm just going to go over this briefly, really quick here with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. This is your PC storage. I know I said it on here before. Multiplayer 35, full game, campaign, zombies, and multiplayer 82. So I'm assuming that includes Warzone? Or no, Warzone's actually not at launch, right? Isn't it? It's not out yet. So that'll be a separate file, by the way, will it not?
Probably, yeah.
It's okay. So that's going to be a separate file, and that is okay. It says full game, ultra graphics setting 125. All right.
So that's all your HD textures and stuff. So that's your HD texture pack.
Yeah, I'll just read this here. It says, possible that Treyarch put up the original system requirements, storage size, and projection of how big the game will be after several updates, much like how Modern Warfare surpassed 200 gigabytes after a few updates. I don't know. Yeah. Now I'm just like, holy shit. I had actually gone in today, Mayo, and I did delete pretty much the whole game from my PC. I almost never played on PC anymore. Mm-hmm. I've been kind of like playing a little more on console, trying to do that. You know what? And I think I do have the option. I could be wrong, where I can hook up the mouse and keyboard to the console, play it that way.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's one of those games like Fortnite and Call of Duty. You know, the games that support it, which I'm sure a lot of your AAA games will. So, and going forward, your next consoles will do the same, even PlayStation. I don't have a list in front of me, but yeah, so let's look at now the space of next-gen consoles. You've got PlayStation 5. That OS will have 660 gigabytes of usable space. Xbox Series X. I'm not going to include the smaller consoles here. 802. So, talking with Berserker Zod, we've had him on the show before. He is a Twitch streamer. Awesome, by the way. And he was talking about how many duties can you fit on an Xbox and PlayStation. You know, we were talking about one duty, man. One duty. But I think you can fit 2 duties. Could you not?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
You can fit 2 duties on an Xbox and 2 duties on a PlayStation. And you might have enough room left over to play an indie game. Right?
Dead Cells.
And Dead Cells. There you go. One duty, one Dead Cell. Fucking A. That's it, man. Yeah.
One duty, one cell.
That's a good one. One duty, one cell. Holy shit. Oh, man. Let's see. Where are we here? I think that was it. All we had for the news. Oh, I think there was one other thing that I saw, and I think it was just regarding, I don't have this up here, and I'm going to look for it really quick. That was with the PlayStation 5 not supporting the external hard drives at launch. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I actually did come across that article that they were, I guess something was released that they were not, I think it was in our Facebook community that I think maybe Jesus even posted it, that they were not going to support, basically you couldn't put games on an external drive and it wouldn't like recognize them or play them. So yeah, everything has to be on that internal drive.
Yeah, so there was something with this and so won't support SSD storage expansions at launch, but when will it? So that's the question. Let's see. Sony has confirmed to The Verge that it won't be able to expand the blazing fast SSD storage on day one, while the PS5 features a dedicated internal slot that can be theoretically fit standard stick-shaped M.2 SSDs, and as an easy way to access it, the slot will apparently be disabled out of the box. This is reserved for future updates. So
it's going to be disabled off, through software. So like right away, you can buy a PlayStation the way it sounds, and you can put an M.2 stick in there, and it's going to be disabled like that. That slot's going to be inactive until they enable it in software.
Wait, so what slot are we talking about? Are we talking about another second slot? Is it?
Well, just whatever. Like we've been talking about before. There's going to be like a side panel that's going to pop off the PlayStation 5, and there's going to be an expansion slot where you can add a memory card, or not a memory card, but like I'll just call it a memory card, but a bigger hard drive.
Right.
And it sounds to me, the way you're reading there is they're going to disable that. Like you could put an M.2 card in there because they're like the size of a stick of gum. You could put one in there, but it's not going to recognize it. Because that port where you plug it in sound like it's going to be theoretically dead and not active until Sony turns it on through software. Mm-hmm. So it's some kind of thing where the CPU probably isn't going to be reading that channel or something, and you won't be able to use it for anything yet.
Yeah. So this is from Mark Cerny here. Just a quick little thing, and I don't know when he has said this, but he said it'd be great if that happened by launch, but it's likely to be a bit past it. So please hold off on getting that M.2 drive until you hear from us.
So yeah, so don't plan on putting external storage on it yet.
Don't plan on putting more than one duty and one cell on that storage.
Yeah.
Just hold off. Hopefully you'll hopefully we'll see something by Christmas. I'm sure we'll see something before then.
Get yourself an internet plan without data caps that way you can uninstall and reinstall over and over.
Exactly. That you know what I say to people?
Uninstall your Duty, play Valhalla, install Valhalla, reinstall Duty.
Right, just keep reinstalling and deleting.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of load times for download times. So we're gonna be like, the game can load faster in, but now you can be waiting on your friends to re-download the game.
Yeah.
Be like,
oh my
gosh,
gosh.
play Call of Duty. And you gotta have that one friend like, oh, I have to install it first, bro. You know, and so everybody else be like, all right, well, we gotta wait for him, so let's go play a couple rounds until he gets it installed.
Oh my gosh. You know what? This Mail, you wouldn't have known this, but definitely people in our community are like, oh my God, I remember that from fucking Xbox 360, PS3 days. Is it downloaded yet? Dude, let me leave the party chat because it's taking up bandwidth. And I'll come back once it's downloaded. Everything kind of be...
We'll grab a sandwich. I'll be back in a little bit, guys, when it's downloaded.
I got to go to the store, get some soda, Doritos. I got to get my Mountain Dew.
And hopefully you live where you have good internet, because if you don't have good internet, you might be taking a while, especially, that Duty, being 125 gig or,
oh boy,
or depending on which one it is. So could take you a minute.
Yeah, that'll be a while. But I figured, like, hey, I know people are gonna be like, fuck you, I'm not deleting my shit. I'm keeping COD on here. It's the only thing I'm gonna play. If I take it off, I got to download something overnight. Fuck that. That's too complicated. I'll just play Call of Duty. So keep your PS4s, people. Keep your PS4. Maybe just switch over there and.
There you go. Just keep the game you want to play on your PS5, your true next gen stuff, and just leave it Call of Duty on the PS4.
Dual console it, man. That's what you do.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all we kind of have for the news here. All right. So let's go ahead and move over. Unless you see any other news in there, Mail.
No, that's all I've seen today.
Yeah, and I haven't been keeping up with a lot of it. So we are going to move over to the
hype. All that council hype coming up this week, Gunny.
I know. I'll be on it like, after the show today, and because I've been gaming all day. I've got to really dig into the news and stuff and see when can I get that Xbox? Can I get that Xbox?
Yeah, I might start watching. like I said, I had a 70-hour paycheck this week, so maybe I'll be looking for a PS5 next week.
Get me the PS5. Maybe I'll pay you back while I get the Xbox.
I'll be on the prowl, Gunny. Be camping out at Best Buy.
That's what I want you to do. I want you to go get a cooking grill. I want you to stay warm. I know it gets cold. You never know. Check the weather, Mayo. It could be.
It's been changing a lot here. Like I said, it's been almost 80 today in a little old Ohio, but it could be 40 next week.
You said 68. It could be 28 on Tuesday while you're in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's move over to. Oh, before that. So, yeah, I will. I just want to mention also and shout out to my wife, my woman. She was like, periodically she'll be at Target.com or whatever, and Macy's or wherever the fuck she's looking at on her phone. She's like, hey, what's that Xbox thing called? Is that the new one? I see the new one, because now they're kind of back. They're not in stock, right? But they are they're there for placeholders, which is cool. That you can actually view them and they just show that they're out of stock, of course. But I'm like, okay, you just keep that window open, that Chrome window, and save that. So on Tuesday morning, you can help me purchase a new Xbox. But moving on over here to the console corner, I haven't really updated anything, but I think everything is still kind of where it's at as far as PlayStation Plus for the month of November. You still get Middle Earth: Shadow of War. Amazing looking game. Play that on the Pro version, guys. That game looks amazing. If you're you like those Batman style type games, you're gonna love the Middle Earth game.
Reminds me of it. What is it? It's like The Hobbit meets Batman.
There you go. That's a good. I never heard that before. That's a good way to put it. I really like the one ability that always gets me is where you flip over the enemy. It's just the corniest kind of move ever. But it looks pretty badass when you're doing it. You run up the enemy and you grab and you flip over and then you stab him in the back. It's like something, straight out of Batman style type thing.
It's something I can see you doing in a Gunny in a street fight. You're in a dark alley and you're getting mugged by 4 people. I see you out there, grappling these guys, flipping over guys' back, kicking somebody in the face.
Yeah, or I just kick them in the ass or punch them in the back of the head. That's what I do. I go grapple, flip over. They're like, "Hey, where'd he go? Where'd the guy go to?" He's like, "Behind you now, motherfucker. What's up, Shank?" But yeah, that game looks beautiful. Running that, man, on the OLED TV. Wow. Still only like 3 hours into that game. It's a little. I think a lot of it they took out of. They took out a lot of the garbage out of that game.
The Nemesis system they had in that thing, where the game would learn you, and the characters would remember you, and if they killed you, they would be like, "Oh, you're coming back again for more," and they would level.
Yes.
They would defeat you, and they would get harder.
Right. I'm back again. You want to fight me? Come on after me. And they're just the ugliest looking things you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, they would gain XP.
Yeah, especially when you didn't kill them, right? And then they were just like, "You want more of me? Yo, I'm going to kick your ass and kill you again. Come on after me." And you're like, "Oh, shit. All right." But then that was the satisfying part when you actually killed them.
Where's the baby mode?
I know. I'm like, where's easy mode in the menus, options? Yeah. Games. It's a good game. I just didn't have time to play more of it. Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition. That is still with your PlayStation Plus games. You're into the side scroller. It's not roguelike, is it? It's just more of an adventure.
More like a Metroidvania,
yeah.
I think. It's kind of got that new area opens up as you get new abilities.
Definitely grab that one.
A lot of backtracking.
Yeah. The Xbox games for gold. Your free games for this beginning of the month of November. Origami Shadow Edition. Origami. I don't know. Did I see somebody playing this game? I don't remember. Something I always claim, but I don't play. Get that one. And the second one is that Full Spectrum Warrior. That's your backwards compatible game. Geeks, was that an original or a 360 game? Doesn't look the best, but I grabbed it, even though I'll never play it. Not downloaded. I don't have anything down for Game Pass. There is something Mayo was going to ask you about, and I don't see it on my list anymore. It's for Game Pass for PC. And who knows? It's probably on console too. So looking here. Oh, I see there's that Disney Plus. Somebody had put that in there today. So do you get Disney Plus with Game Pass now?
I do not know that.
I think it was a post I was reading last night. Let's see, where did it go? Oh, here it is right here. It says enjoy movies. It expires January 31st.
You get a 30-day free trial, guys.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yep.
Streams endless entertainment from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic, epic movies, series, and originals from the world's best storytellers are awaiting. So, yeah, I guess 30-day trial. I don't know, man. I don't know. I always thought they would have just offered that to anybody, but not the biggest deal. But it seems more of an advertisement than anything.
Yeah.
Either way, I needed to start watching The Mandalorian. Let's see here. Gears Tactics, that has been, I don't know, why is that added back? Maybe they added something extra to the game to it, or now that it's coming out on consoles. Deep Rock.
That is recently added. They did add Deep Rock, and they also have Celeste, which was like a Game of the Year runner-up at one point in time, or one Game of the Year like a year or two ago.
I think that was last year, I think that was last year. That was Game of the Year. Not that I ever played it.
We have a game preview of a game called Comanche.
That's what I was looking at, and I thought it was it looks like a drone, doesn't it?
No, it looks like you're in a helicopter.
Okay. I'm just,
like an air combat kind of thing with helicopters.
Yeah, that might actually be pretty good.
We'll give it check it out. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I kind of deleted Call of Duty so I can make room for some of these PC games. Maybe get Gears Tactics back in there. Because I don't think that one is launching. I don't think it's launching with the regular Xbox One or even the Xbox One X. So I thought, I'm going to play that a little bit more on there. on the consoles or on PC. But let's see. Over here to the Epic Store, you have your free games are Dungeons 3. Dungeons 3 is your free game. And there's a game on here, man. It might be free the next time on next week's show, but I did want to mention it, and it's called Texorcist. Like the Exorcist, but with a T. So I'm just going to read a little description because I thought, oh man, this is kind of like, Mayo might actually like this, or my son is really going to like this. One of the descriptions reads as, dodge bullets while typing exorcisms at the very same time. Get ready for an electrifying mix between bullet hell and typing game. That's funky.
I was just say, is this a typing game?
Turn on both sides of your brain and jump into the adventure of private exorcist Ray Bibia. So it almost looks like it is. Would you say that it's 8 or 16-bit, more 16-bit than anything?
I'm not sure. I don't have it pulled up.
Yeah, and you know, and it almost reminded me of like. I was like, okay. Down here it says like games that are relevant to you, Dead Cells and Hotline Miami, and I'm like, okay, maybe I might actually enjoy this game, but it does look a little too indie, possibly. And I was like, okay, maybe shoot, I'd forgotten the name of the game, but it was something that my son really enjoyed. And
Gunny, if you're probably playing a typing game, you're probably too busy looking down at your keyboard.
Right.
About graphics at this point. It's like if you're playing a game where you want to try to learn to type faster, you're probably looking down at the keyboard anyway, so you're probably not paying attention to the graphics. And
for somebody like me, I'm down there with like, my one index finger, like, T R O. Like, I'm already dead.
You gotta stop and push the up, Gunny. You gotta stop and push the glasses up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. All right. So where's the? Oh, there's the K. Let me press K.
Where's the quotation sign?
And my son will be over here just like, he'll just be like, I got done, finished. All the achievements are finished in this game. You know what I was thinking of was Isaac, Rebirth of Isaac? Is that the name of the game?
Of Isaac?
Yeah, but it sort of has that same aesthetic to it, the same style.
Oh, okay.
But not watching trailers, but looking like, okay, yeah, this might be in his wheelhouse. I know those are something he plays. But yeah, so just go grab Dungeons 3. Take that one. Maybe go over there. If you're on that Epic Store, man, see if, for those of you listening that haven't grabbed Rocket League, I don't know if it's still going on, but I think I still see it. You grab Rocket League for free, you claim it for free, and it gives you that $10 coupon, and then you just go paying $15 American to get the Hades, which, do that. But
sounds like a plan.
Moving on, Mayo, community questions.
We had a good question this week. We had a fun question, I think.
That was a good one.
To hear some of these answers. Gunny, what kind of car do you picture each of us driving?
Oh man, I haven't even really thought about this. Like, let's see, Mayo. Let's see, what would you be driving? You know what I'm thinking you're driving, Mayo? Like, you're gonna be driving, one of those. You've ever seen those like F-350s, and it's like a 4-door, 4 full fucking doors to it.
Yeah.
And it's got like
quad cab.
Yeah, almost like it's a quad cab, but it's not like the dually. But you're gonna have like 20 bales of hay in the back.
Oh.
It'll be a 1992 version.
So it's gonna be like an 8-foot bed.
Yeah, it'll be the long bed. I don't even know if this will fit in your apartment complex. You'll take up 2 spots.
Yeah, that reminds me, actually, in my apartment complex the other day when I was to leave for work, there was a brand new dually pickup quad cab sitting out there. Nothing was huge. It took up a lot of room. Yeah,
I see them like at my apartment complex where we have. So I think everybody gets covered parking. But yeah, if you do have like a long bed vehicle, you're going to be half your vehicle is going to stick out. And so I do see some of those where I'm like, did they not? Oh, right. They can only pull in so far. Right. You have to have a regular vehicle for it to fit. But yeah, but there's a lot of them around here, man. I don't know if I told you, but where I live in cow country. So there's a lot of trucks, man, a lot of trucks with hay and stuff like that. We do a lot of cows, man. Lots of milking cows, lots of chickens. This used to be the chicken capital of the world. So I'm probably more country than you are, man, out here in California.
Yeah, you might be.
A lot of trucks, man. Lots of trucks. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, and then, of course, I picture myself. I'll be driving. What would I be driving? Like if I don't have my Jeep, what would I get? I've never been so much of a. I think a lot of people nail what I am because I'm not a huge truck person. So, you know what? You know what I want, Mayo? I want a Toyota, maybe a 4Runner, maybe a Tacoma. But definitely lift it up a couple inches. It doesn't have to be 10 inches high or anything, but put some big fat wheels on it. And I think Jesus, I think I'm going to try and get the name of the car for Jesus here. It's the, no, that's not it. I was thinking of, what is it? The,
Drive a Gunny.
Okay, so it is, okay, I got to think of the movie that it's in. It's in, shit. I almost thought it was like the Nomad, but I'm thinking like, okay, that car is like way too old. But I'm thinking it's like those cars that are like low to the ground, older, but they're more like beasts, like in the Matrix. What was that movie in the Matrix, dude? Oh, that was let's see if I can bring it up here.
Like a was it something like a Lincoln or something like that?
It was something like that, right? Oh, was it the I know what it might have been. You picture him driving like a lowrider. You like a lowrider, but something bigger. I don't mean like it's like straight up of like Los Angeles, like.
Yeah,
he's gonna have some hydraulics onto it or something. Yeah. Maybe a Buick Roadmaster. There you go. Fuck it. He's gonna be in a Roadmaster.
Oh, Jesus, driving the Buick Roadmaster.
Hey, check this out. This is dude, this is like, I hope, let me mute this site here. It's Jay Leno's 55 Buick Roadmaster. This thing is a monster. But this is a badass car. I can see Jesus driving one of these. That would be amazing. What about you, man? What do you picture us driving?
So the funny thing is, being old that I am, Gunny, I still feel like I'm young. So, I have to go back to my young self, and one of my first cars when I turned 16-year-old Gunny was a Camaro. I just picture myself, young Mayo, mullet, all that fun stuff growing up. And
did you have a mullet? Did you really have a mullet?
Yeah, way back in the early days.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
I had a tail, but I never had a mullet, even though growing up partly in a trailer park, but I never had the mullet. My friends did. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an 84 Camaro, which was my first car. Traded that for an 86 IROC Camaro. And then I traded that for a Trans Am. So I had my share of cars like that, but I would picture myself driving something like that. The community, not so much. They seem to, automatically think that I'm from Ohio, so I have to drive a pickup truck or a tractor hauling some corn around. I don't know, but that's what I picture myself driving.
Dude,
Johnny, I don't know. I just automatically, I feel like you drive the right vehicle, like a Jeep, or like you said, like a Hummer. I feel like, I can picture Gunny driving a Hummer. Maybe it's just because your gamer tag Gunny Chief, makes me think of a Hummer with a big old turn on the back or something. But I feel like that would be a good fit for you. Getting about 2 miles to the gallon driving through LA with your 44-inch tires on it, and bouncing off cars as you're making your way through traffic. And Jesus, I picture Jesus driving like a smooth, luxury car, but on the cheap that he can afford. So not saying that Jesus is cheap and stuff like that, but I see middle of the road Mercedes and something like that. When I say middle of the road, like a $40,000 Mercedes, not the $100,000 ones or anything like that, but the nice, comfortable, quiet riding car. Can't have too much noise because he's got to hear himself. He's got to talk loud. Got to have that voice call. Talk to everybody on the phone.
He's got that Bluetooth device in there, everybody can hear it. Yeah,
all the technology. He's got to have all the toys, Gunny. He's gonna be letting the car drive for him. He's gonna take a nap. He's gonna be late and blame it on the car. So That's what Jesus is driving.
Yeah. You know what? I looked it up, and it is the 1965 Lincoln Continental in the original Matrix, one of my favorite movies. And I remember also that my friend's mom, she had, I want to say she had like a 73, so it wasn't as like sleek as the 65. Not even close, but I always loved that 65 car. It looks freaking amazing. It's just
you see him with
car.
like suicide doors, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Open backwards.
Oh yeah. Probably some limited edition. Wow, I would take one of those in a heartbeat, and just keep it all black and white walls and shine it up. That'd be a good collector car.
Yeah. Have you ever realized too? If you ever do see those around, they're always black. You never see red or white or any other color. It's just black.
Right.
That classic gangster black.
There you go.
Suicide doors.
See, I see Jesus in that gangster hat. All right, I see him as in like mafia. He's gonna be pulling up. Hey, I'm Jesus. Let's go to the casino. There you go.
Moving on, Gunny. Our boy Nipron over there. He's got. I think he's got you pegged. He said a mud Jeeps or a Daewoo or Daewoo.
A Daewoo car. So I'm gonna Google the Daewoo car because I don't. Okay, that's the Daewoo car.
I remember.
I've seen these. I don't. Yeah. So they come in like, they're not that bad looking. I can drive a Daewoo.
I see you in a mud Jeep, Gunny.
I always thought they look like Toyotas, basically.
Yeah, I don't see you mudding. I remember hearing the stories of you getting stuck in the mud, but I can see you driving a mud Jeep.
So this might be surprising for the community. They see my gamer tag and they've seen me post pictures of my Jeep. Well, I just have the regular ass red Jeep. My wife has the nice black one, and we put a lot of money into
Your
it.
wife drives the jacked up monster tire Jeep.
That's her.
Winches in the front and the back that can pull anybody out of a parking spot.
Yes.
And then Gunny drives the little old standard. Is it a stripped down Gunny?
No. So it's just it's not stripped down, but it is like right. So it doesn't have, it's got the manual windows and. It's a 4-door, but it's
gray bumpers instead of the chrome bumpers.
Exactly. So it's just as basic as you can get. And also, so the wife had the Hummer before this Jeep. So we traded in the Hummer, I think. Did we trade in the Hummer? I think we did. We traded that in for the black Jeep and modified it, of course. But you can only modify one vehicle. You only have so much money, right? But mainly I'm the one that drives it anyway. But that Hummer was that was hers. And so I want to say while she had the Hummer, guess what I had for several years, probably 5 years. I had the Saturn Vue. I love that fucking car. So Nipron, I think you kind of nailed it. I'm more of that Daewoo. I could definitely drive a Daewoo, or the Saturn Vue was a good car. Wasn't that like a subsidiary of Chevrolet General Motors? And I think they went belly up during the last recession. Because I remember getting a letter. I think, did Jesus have one too? Because I think he might have gotten the same letter that I did, basically saying, hey, we went bankrupt, but we're still going to be supported by Chevrolet. Some shit like that. But I thought it was a great car. You can, especially Nipron knows, man, living in California, in certain places of the state that where, damn, like it doesn't do you much good to have you may ought to have a big ass F-250 with the 8-foot long bed. Doesn't work.
But Nipron might have been a little off when he says he thinks I drive a corn tractor.
Well, that's what he pictures you as, right? We all do. How else are you going to get to the middle of the field to fix the crow? I mean, to fix the freaking, oh my gosh,
scarecrow.
The scarecrow. Thank you. Yes, I was like the crow thing. You got to put it back, right? Because the crows keep eating its head. So,
I can see it. I do see some tractors every once in a while driving down the road, going like 30 mile an hour, holding up traffic.
Yeah, so they're mainly
not by me.
Yeah, so I have them. Oh, we have them here. So if I get my car and I head west, like literally just like a few blocks, then I'm in. It's just nothing but farms all the way to the coast. Lots of tractors, and ditch witches. That's what they talk about. All the way to the Coast Guard training facility out there. It's just nothing but cows, man, and sheep and stuff. So, anyway.
And lastly, he said Jesus driving a jeepney. I'm assuming that he just means a Jeep. Can you picture Jesus driving a Jeep, Gunny?
I know. I don't think so. Maybe a Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah.
Or yeah. What's the other nice one? They do have the other nice Jeep. There's different versions, right? There's the Liberty, there's this one and that one. There's cheaper versions.
The Patriot, the Liberty,
the
Renegade. Yeah, he's got options. Just a Jeep for Jesus.
Right. I'm with the Cherokee, man. Give me the Jeep Cherokee. The Rubicon. No, I just went with regular. Give me a regular one. My next car I wanted to be maybe a Toyota Tacoma. Nothing too big. Something good on gas mileage. Ghost Nico says, Gunny, I know, drives a Jeep, but he looks like a Lincoln dude. Yeah, that's right, Ghost. See, I want that Lincoln, man. Give me that black car. Suicide Doors. Jesus looks like a Ferrari guy. Hell yeah.
Jesus is bumping up to the Ferrari world.
Yeah. And Mayo, a Ford F-150 with a trailer that has a tractor on the back of it and a bumper sticker that says, honk if you love dead sales.
Well, there you go.
That would be
I cannot disagree. Like, if there was a sticker that said, I don't like bumper stickers, but if there was a sticker that said, honk if you like dead cells,
right,
I might have to go in the window.
Because I was thinking, Ghost, you went there, man. That's a good one. Because I was thinking he was going to be like, there's a Mayo. He's got the Dodge Ram, and it says, honk if you love Jesus. No, sir. He's a gamer. It's going to be dead cells. Chavez says, the real question is, when is there going to be a Destiny 2 podcast? I don't know. Like, I think if you go... So, Chavez, if you go to iTunes and after you rate us 5 stars, go ahead and hit the search button for Destiny 2 podcast. I
don't think we have the time.
I have it.
That many hours in Destiny 2.
You know what? I'm going to pimp it right now just for Nipron because these guys, they do. It's actually a pretty good pos. I'm going to pimp their shit over here. What is it? It's going on. I don't even see it here in my feed, man. I don't know where it went, but it was in here, so I can't bring it up. Nipron knows what I'm talking about. Anyway.
He's screaming at you right now, Gunny.
I know. He's like, God damn it, Meryl, you said you'd listen, and I was listening to it. It was like a Destiny podcast. So reach out to Nipron, Chavez. Sammy, bruh moment, says, yeah, we don't want to leave out the Destiny hobos. So you know what I got to do? I think this sounds like I need to be on assignment here to really jump into Destiny 2 on the Xbox, because all of the content will be there, along with watching Nipron's Twitch streams, playing Destiny. What is it? Something of light? Child of light? The man in the light? Some shit, whatever that new DLC is coming out, which will be out, what? Is it tomorrow? Is that when it comes out? I don't know. But new Destiny content will be out. Let's see what it's called, because now it's going to... Destiny 2... what's the DLC called? Beyond Light. There we go. So I think that comes out. Bungie just jumping in here. There's probably like even a thing where it comes out tonight. But choo-choo. It doesn't even say here. Oh, yes. That'll be available tomorrow, guys. November 10th. Go beyond the light. A new power is born of the ancient pyramid ship above Europa's frozen frontier, and dark empire has risen beneath. In Destiny 2, Beyond Light, you will bring down the empire at any cost, even if it means wielding the darkness itself. Sounds awesome, man. So I got to jump into that. I'm sure it'll be like if I do I could pre-install as well. So that can happen. Should do that. All right. You too, man. You got to play some of that Destiny too.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll check it out.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Let's see over here. I think this is on Facebook. Brian Tilp Jr. He says, Mayo, you were driving a Maybach. Is it Maybach, right? Isn't it called Maybach?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's Maybach or Maybach.
Is that
I know what it is?
Is that the... I want to say that's the Mercedes-Benz, right?
Yeah, that's the expensive Mercedes.
Oh, gosh. I've seen those like on TV or whatever. Yeah. And I was always like, whoa, is that a Mercedes? What the hell is that? Those things are pretty sweet.
Fancy luxury cars. Fancy life.
Whew.
In Corn County.
Damn. He said, I'm riding in the back seat of a Jeep. What the fuck? I'm not even driving. I'm not even driving. I'm in the back seat. My wife is driving. Is that what you're getting at, Brian? The wife's driving? Maybe my kid's driving. He's like...
I say maybe Kyle's driving at this point.
He's like 6'4" now. That kid is like... getting so tall. And Jesus is driving a car with the highest safety picks, like a Kia Stinger or anything Audi.
See it more of an Audi than a Kia.
I would want to...
Stingers are nice, but I see him driving an Audi before a Kia Stinger.
Yeah, get the Audi, man. Get that Audi A7.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be badass.
Or a TT.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive TT.
There you go. I don't know if that would be too safe. Would it be safe? Maybe not against a big truck or anything, or a cliff, but yeah.
Yeah, he better get the Audi.
Yeah. There you go.
He needs to stick with that was it German engineering?
What do we got here?
Those European.
Darren Hilton says, first thing that pops in my head is Gunny Chief driving a 2000 or so Honda Civic. Yeah. You know what? You close, Darren, because I've always had those like, what did I have? I had that. So I had the Saturn Vue. And then before that, it was like the regular ass Saturn. So it was probably more, maybe a little bit bigger than the Honda Civic. I think it was, was it 2 or 4 doors? It might have been a 4-door. So maybe it wasn't that small. And so yeah, real funny, Darren. I don't want the Civic, man. Give me that Chevrolet car, whatever it was called. And Mayo, you're driving an older Toyota truck, and Jesus a Beamer.
Yeah, see, I mean, Jesus had a Beamer before, and
right. Always that German engineering with Jesus.
A truck, evidently.
Let's see if Normie.
My daughter happy. She wants me to buy a truck in the worst way.
Yeah, that's. You know what? Then you'll have to help everybody move because you're so nice, Mayo.
All right.
Yeah, Mayo, call him up. We're gonna need help moving this weekend. Let's see if Normie is any nicer to us. What do you think? What does Normie say?
Normie says smart cars, Gunny. She says all of us, all 3 of us have smart cars. Those teeny tiny ones. Lots of Hello Kitty on them. With a big little smiley face behind them.
You know what? Fine, Normie. I'll just take whatever. Let's see. Let's look at you know what? I'm going to look it up right now.
I'm looking this up, Gunny. What color smart car are you driving?
Okay.
I'm driving red or black.
I was thinking like red with a big yellow smiley face on the front and then Hello Kitties on the sides. What do you think?
Yeah, well, we're going to take the red. I'm going to take the black. So what color can we give Jesus?
Okay. So I think I see it here. Here's Jesus right here. Let's go. He's going to have that. It's going to be that blue with the white stripe on it that runs like from the bottom round to the back and then up top. So it has that white roof on it, but the main color is blue. Yeah. That'd be cool. Hey, what was the name of that movie, Mayo? If you remember, I'm trying to think of it was like something to do with heists. And did they all drive Mini Coopers?
Italian Job.
Was it the Italian Job? That's what it reminded me of, Normie, when you had mentioned like we're all driving smart cars. So we're all going to do a heist in smart cars.
Italian Job, there's a remake of it with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but there's an older version of that movie. It has the original Mini Coopers in it. Good movie. That's
what it'll be called. We'll just call it The Horrible Job. And it will just be all driving smart cars through the city. And it was just, that'll be that. There we go. So, moving on. Who is next? We've got Tony Rodriguez. He says, one has a suspended license and the rest are driving around like porno stars and princesses. Disguised amongst yourself. Who's the rising porn star? Ooh. Is that a question?
Well, I think Jesus is the one without the license. He's had so many car accidents here lately.
So you're the rising porn star? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, are you saying you're the princess?
I'm the princess. You're the porn star.
I guess I am.
On suspended licenses. So you know what? I know what we're driving. I already know. We're driving motorcycles because we're going to have helmets and they can't see who it is.
We're going to have motorcycles, huh?
I'm going to have it'll be all tinted so they can't see who it is. especially when the cops come up. They're like, can't see the suspect. Got a description, but no face recognition. There we go. Kyle Wilkie says, I'd assume whatever your parents drive when you ask them to borrow the car to go get more Cheez-Its and deodorant. What deodorant? Oh, not beer? So not soda? Not.
What are your parents driving, Gunny?
Oh, okay. So both my parents have passed away. Rest in peace, Mom and Dad. Let's see. So, my dad always had trucks. He always had like some kind of like always an older like Chevy truck or a Ford. I want to say it was always like a Ford truck. And they were like the smaller Chevys, little step sides, like those, or he had like a, or a Ford F-150 with the short beds on them. He always liked
the little Ford Flash and stuff.
Yeah,
like the Rangers.
So I guess the regular size Ford, but and I remember he always had like I think they made smaller Fords right at the time. I don't think they were called.
I think they called them.
Yeah, and I think that was the Chevy, but I remember the Ford, he had his door didn't close, so we put a bungee cord on it to kind of keep it closed. I don't think never wanted to get that thing fixed, but always had like a good stereo system in it. And boy, reminiscent over here, Kyle, but that was good times. So yeah, I would definitely borrow that. And he had a lot of motorcycles growing up. Yeah,
well, that'd be cool.
Always Yamahas and Kawasaki's and had a Harley at one point, and he's like, I don't like this thing. I'm going back to my Yamaha. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I go with what my parents are driving. My mom is still around. Yeah, she drives a Chevy Equinox. So it's like an SUV.
Oh, yeah. I had, so me and the wife had a Chevrolet. So that was the Equinox, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the Chevrolet. So what did we have? We had the one that was like the same version of it. But I forgot the name of it, but it was the same thing as the Equinox. They changed names. But I never liked it because I want to say, what is it called? The Trailblazer? It wasn't that, yeah. Didn't that become the Equinox, I think? Either way, it was, and I don't know.
Become the replacement.
And I want to say it was either the Rhodes or what have you, but how it has the four-wheel ABS like most vehicles do these days, but it was just always hard because of the suspension just sucked in those vehicles. Never liked it. They were shit. So, anyway, never wanted to get the Equinox. Shiloh from Mom's Gaming Basement says 90s BMW, early 2000s Honda, and a tricked out Jeep. So he never put the name. So I'm assuming Jesus BMW. Mayo, are you driving the Honda and I'm driving the tricked out Jeep? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I would probably have to assume, because I haven't been associated with a Jeep yet.
Yeah, so I think you're the Honda and Jesus always the 90s BMW. He must have researched our Facebook profiles and looked at it and went, yep, that's what they're driving. So definitely, that's where we're at, man. So, Mayo, just a random question: did you ever own motorcycles or drive them? Purchase them?
No, I've never owned a motorcycle, and I've only ever drove one. That was back in my high school days. A friend of mine had a little Kawasaki Ninja 250, I think, at the time. That's when they were getting really popular.
Those Ninjas were very popular, yeah.
I drove one of those. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And I always thought I would like one, but the insurance was always so high, as a 17, 18, 19-year-old. So, and then, then got married and, lived life and never went back that direction. So.
Yeah, I had driven them, but it was only for a short time. I think when I was 17, 18, 19 or whatever it was, and then I was like, okay, I was always nervous because I was like, okay, I don't want to get a ticket, I don't have a license to drive this thing. So it was always either at nighttime or we always went out to go basically on a road that's not, just a freeway, basically, that was not, they didn't have a lot of interchanges and stuff or back roads. And it was just more for fun than anything. But yeah, always drove my dad's or our friends. And I was like, okay, I'm fine just being a passenger, and I don't have the experience. I think I was just always more nervous about it than anything. Like, I don't want that. I just want a car, or even a pickup truck. So, and I did own a couple of pickup trucks, owned several of those, but always a car. But I think that's the end of this week's show. That's all that we have. Thank you for listening, everybody. Mayo, what do you have to say for yourself? Do you want to say where we can find you, not find you?
Yeah, you can find me. Mainly again in the Discord. Is just the regular, the Mayo, and hanging out over here. Always online, I think. I'm gonna plug my Twitter. Just Mayo on Twitter. I need to get that thing going. It's kind of small. I don't use it a whole lot, but I need to increase using it and get some followers and following more people. It's still kind of small, but maybe I'll start tweeting out here more often.
Yeah,
sending out those tweets to the community.
I really enjoy Twitter a lot. So now that I've actually got the Horrible Gamers podcast Twitter on there as well, so I can just go back and forth. But mainly, I am at Kain, Kain, Marston, Marston. I think that's how you find me. I've already said that story. I just can't use my real name because I end up on the news sometimes, the morning news. Because, like if I post a picture of, the winter's coming up, right? And there's puddles of, it never fucking rains here, but, it might be a rainbow or there's a traffic accident or something, something, a car flipped, whatever it is, right? And so when I post that too, usually I'll at somebody at the news, and they usually show it on the television. And so, my profile will show up there. So I think I should probably have my face removed because somebody's going to recognize me. It's an older photo, but So that's why I just moved it, changed it. But either way, even if you followed me before, it doesn't matter. It's still just all transitions over. Let's see. Do we have another community question for next week? I don't know if we had anything lined up.
No, we didn't have anything lined up.
We'll just post something on Twitter, Facebook, Discord. So, but go follow that Jesus guy. Jesus walks a lot. He's pretty much Jesus walks a lot on everything. All one word on everything. On that PlayStation, on the Xbox. He's on that Game Pass. He's on Discord. He's on Facebook. He's on the PC, on the Steam machines and the Epics. And what is the new, I don't even think it even got an update, but it was the Uplay Connect. Is that what they're calling it now? It doesn't even seem like anything changed, by the way.
Yeah, no, nothing's really changed. Just, I think they're trying to support better, save progression. We cross save.
Yeah.
Something I know they were working on. So,
which I think is a great step. I will say that's a good first step. So if I buy it on Xbox and I come over and I decide to buy it on PC, that's I think they realize hey man, what we want is I guess what people really want is we just want to buy it one time, but really they're we're not going to support a one-time purchase because if you're buying on different platforms,
your character, you're going to buy it twice.
You're going to buy it 2 or 3 times, right? So, but if you do buy it 3 different fucking times, hey, it could be kind of like what Bungie's doing with Destiny, where let me encourage you to buy it over here, right? Doesn't that make more sense to say, come buy it over here? Because you want to transition into this PC space, and you can keep your character and your level and your XP, and that's awesome, man. That's what we want. So more options. But go find Jesus over there. Go find me on Xbox at Gunny Chief. I'm on the Steam machines. I'm on Epic. I'm on all those launchers as well. Over on PlayStation, gosh, I need to either sell that freaking PlayStation or play more games on it. But I am HGP _Gunny. That is my gamer tag, my PSN ID for PlayStation. So that is all we have for this week's show. Mayo, what does Gidget say?
Peace out, Brussels sprouts.
Later, people. Thank you for joining us, and join us next week on the Horrible Gamers Podcast. Have a good evening. Bye.
See ya.